Hi, and welcome back to Celebrity with Mimi. So I'm Mimi, and today I have Reese and Sean with me, and we're going to be doing a recap of Love After Lockup. And this episode was titled "Polly Promise." Okay. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump right in with the video today. All right, this episode it starts off with Lacey and Shane. So it's a continuation of them at lie detector facility. I don't know what else to call it. Shane was there to get a lie detector test, right? And so Shane says that he feels like Lacey should take a polygraph test, which I think, in all fairness, she should, even though I feel like he's only asking her to do it now because she made him do it and something came out of it. So um, they both end up getting upset and they're going back and forth. He's saying she thinks it's like, well, what do you want to know? And so they're just kind of going back and forth saying that. And so Shane, he said something that, I mean, he hit that nail, right? When he said that their marriage was built on lies, which to the beginning of their marriage was built on lies. And so, they need to repair that, which of course. He also ends up admitting that he has an OnlyFans and that what he does on it is that he sends videos that they made. I'm assuming it's
Yeah, I didn't get that part.
videos. That's what I'm assuming, but I could be wrong with that. But that's kind of the way I took it because he didn't really explain what type of videos. But then I was thinking about on OnlyFans, they wouldn't be watching videos of you and her going to dinner, or at least I don't think so. I don't think it's blog stuff. So that's what I'm thinking. But I'm like, why are you still sharing videos of you and your wife? So I don't know. Alrighty. And so he says he sends videos of him and her to guys. But if the guys are tuning in to see you, again, I'm just confused. Okay, so he did something that I didn't necessarily agree with. He also goes on to say that Lacey, this is how Lacey makes her money, and that she has OnlyFans and that she does webcamming and stuff, which I didn't feel like that was fair for him to out her like that. I felt like that was unnecessary for him to have said. And he says he thinks that she's hiding something. I mean, well, we all know that she is because they also show a clip of John trying to call Lacey, but the phone goes straight to voicemail. So John reveals that Lacey blocks his number whenever he's around somebody he doesn't want them to know that she's talking to John still. Okay. So Lacey also says that if Shane asks her, "Are you talking to John?" she would admit it to him. But she says he hasn't asked, so it's like she feels like there's no problem. So let me ask y'all, what did y'all think about Lacey and Shane? I'll go ahead and just start.
First of all, I mean, we already said last week, like it sucks that that's what came out of it and that he's doing that. And I don't really understand what he's doing and if he is gay or if he got some gayness to him or if he really just playing the game to get money. I don't know. But I guess a part of me is like, she get what she get because when it comes to that outing her thing, like it is messed up because that was just tit for tat. But I do think that if he did out her, like him outing her isn't like that big of a deal to me because he had something revealed on him that's way worse than her having the OnlyFans. So, like his OnlyFans seems way worse. So I doubt hers is towards women. It's probably towards men or geared towards men. So I still see his as worse. And then I too was confused about why is he giving anybody their personal videos unless it was videos they made and maybe it was on her OnlyFans. Then that would change things because then you can't get mad if you use them on his. But if it was their personal stuff that they did that wasn't put into the public, then I don't think he should have been doing that anyways without her consent. So I don't know. I feel like it's a lot of shady stuff that we don't even know about right now that's going on in their relationship that to me, that stuff is kind of toxic if you start bringing all this out. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so Sean, what do you think?
Yeah, as far as the OnlyFans thing go, he said that she helped him with that stuff.
Yeah.
So by saying that, I believe that she knows that he put their her stuff on the OnlyFans thing. That it ain't no big deal. Now, and then for him to oust her and that's how he makes her money, I don't have a problem with that either because she's making a big deal. It comes off like she's making a big deal that he's doing the OnlyFans thing, but he's like, if she's upset about that, she do the same thing. So why is it wrong for me to do it when you doing it and you help me get started on it?
Okay, so I think the thing with that is she actually didn't reveal the OnlyFans unless I missed something. I could have missed something. Y'all let me know. He's been the only one revealing the OnlyFans stuff. So,
but he saying that she helped him do it.
yeah.
So if she's upset with him for doing something that she helped him do, then she's wrong for that. But and then as far as the because I thought about it, and then him wanting her to take a test, okay, that came out on him on his part, and that like now is like, okay, you got me, now let's see what you hide. And for her to make a big deal like, oh, just ask me anything, but he's like, no, go underneath the test, and she like, oh, you can tell me anything, ask me anything. And of course, if I'm doing something and I'm saying you, yeah, I'm gonna tell Reese if she asks me that. But since she never asked me, I'm not going to tell her. So if they'll put her underneath the test, they wouldn't have asked her either. Are you talking to John? They'd have asked her, is there anything hiding from your husband? And she would have said, no, I'm not. And then it came out that she was because she'd have failed. And then he'd have been suspicious and he don't know exactly what it is she hiding. And then they'd be in the same boat. And then I kind of was disappointed in him that he said that he would go to the counseling if the counselor agrees that she needs to. And so that tells me that because when she's saying that if her being her, the counselor, she already got in her mind that the counselor gonna talk to. And most likely 7 times out of 10, the person that picked the counselor is the one that's picking the counselor that's going to agree with them, their point of view. So he might not get his test. You know?
Yeah, and I just don't think that a counselor is going to necessarily agree to the polygraph test, especially because they're not foolproof. So I definitely see that, and I do think I mean, she has some secrets. I think that's why she didn't just necessarily break up with him right then and there and call the marriage off. So she's willing to go to counseling. She's like, we should have went to counseling from the start, but because she knows deep down that she does have secrets. And just like when she got to sit with that counselor, with the lie detector person and kind of go over kind of questions that are going to be asked. See, Shane would then have the opportunity to go into that room and he can kind of also sway or ask him to ask certain questions. Because you remember when the lie detector test guy was saying, I'm going to ask him, about men too. And she's like, oh, no, that's okay.
Because she knew, because she helps him.
That's what, can I have a feeling? Yeah, that could be like that.
And maybe she didn't want that revealed.
Maybe. But unfortunately, when you bring your marriage onto a reality show and then you start doing stuff like that, then you're exposing your marriage, because you can't control all the situations that go on a reality show.
And then too, when that phone rung, he should have took the note from Lisa and said, answer the phone. Why you not answering?
Oh, did it ring in the car with them?
Yes, it did.
It went straight to voicemail.
It went to voicemail.
It rung.
Oh.
And then she clicked it because she clicked the phone. And then the second time it went to voicemail. But it rung.
Oh, so she rejected it and then blocked him. Oh, okay. I didn't see that part.
Yeah.
So I'd have been like, hey, what you got? If you don't have anything to hide, answer the phone. Answer the phone. Put it on speaker.
She'd be like, scam likely. Yeah. A lot of times do be like that though. Well, at least I be getting them in it. Thank God my phone tells me scam likely. I'm like, thank you.
So.
But yeah. So with that therapist part, I kind of was disappointed in him for not pushing harder because I was like, she was like, I'll do it if the therapist says, and then he was like, okay, agreed. I guess he probably just getting to that middle zone. You know what I'm saying? Just like, okay, here's our happy median. We'll just settle with this. But I would have kept pushing because I'm like, no, we didn't wait for a therapist. to do my test. Let's do your test, and then let's go see a therapist so we can figure out what we're gonna do based off of the results of these tests. Because you go to a therapist and you're like, okay, we're gonna work it out. Then you go do a test. Now you just devastated again. So it's like I feel like the way they're doing it is backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then for me, I don't like. I get why Shane would want a lie detector test, but I just hate that he's bringing it out only because his lie detector test revealed something. So
Yeah.
now it's like you're ready to now you want to reveal her, which
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Honestly,
think that's right. Hmm.
I think if nothing would have came out of it, I think he still would have won a test.
Oh,
Only
you think
because
so?
she forced him to get one. And
True.
then that way he could have been like, you see, I was clean, but look at you. Look at you. You got all this stuff and you wanted me to take the test. So either way it go, I think he would have asked her to take a test. Because then that way he can throw it over her later. Like, yeah, you could accuse me of cheating. I took a test. I paid for the test with my money. And it came back saying that everything was good to go. But now you took a test and you out here having secrets. So, I think either way it go. Possible. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
Yeah,
I can see that.
yeah,
Like
I can
you
kind of
could
see
look
that,
at it either way.
but I also feel like he and Lacey should relish in the fact that the lie detection test proved that technically he has not cheated on her. He's
Yeah.
been flirtatious, but he technically hasn't cheated.
Yeah.
But she didn't want to hear that.
Yeah.
You
But I
know,
feel like something is still off because if he says she helps him, unless she thought she was helping him with one that's geared at females, that's the only thing I could think. And she
Yeah.
finds out that OnlyFans is geared at males, or maybe it's like she didn't want the world to know he was doing that, or she knew he was gonna reveal that she got one or something. I don't know. But oh, and what you on to what you had said, Sean. He didn't. He actually was the one that brought up what you. I'll take a lie detector test. And
right.
once he threw it out, she ain't back down from it. And he was like, "Dang, I ain't think she's really gonna go along with it, but she did." So in a way, that's his own fault that he agreed to it. Because I feel like don't agree to something that you. I still have never figured out why somebody would agree to that when they know they got a secret. But
Because I didn't think they was going to ask that question. So he probably thought the test was just only going to be about his
yeah,
Yeah, especially because
and that's it.
why? I wonder why did
most
that
part, if
dude?
you think a man is married to a woman, you wouldn't think to ask those type of questions. So I think that was also something that probably threw him for a loop. So he wasn't expecting the lie detector to ask him about men, especially since Lacey has been on. There's a woman at the gym, so I think he probably thought the questions weren't going to go there, but he should have been prepared in case the questions do go there.
Well, not unless he's not doing anything. So if he's not doing anything with any men, then he wouldn't be thinking that, okay, they might ask that question because he's not doing nothing, but he just doing the OnlyFans thing, which he probably also think that, okay, she knows that I do OnlyFans. Then why would they ask anything dealing with the OnlyFans? All my people that subscribe to him. So he probably wasn't just thinking. He probably was just thinking there's going to be one question: are you cheating on your wife? So
But why would they do that? Why would they bring up men? Because to me, Shane doesn't look gay unless you look at those pictures. The pictures were questionable. The pictures he had, like in the car, and they was
uh-huh.
questionable. Him physically in front of you, to me, I don't see nothing about him that comes off as gay, and unless he got mannerisms that we just don't see on camera. But as far as what we see on camera, so what made that dude ask those questions? If it wasn't Lacey prompting it or the what I'm saying, the camera, the directors or somebody put that bug out there, and I'm like, so in a way, something
It could have been.
feels staged with that.
It
Well,
could
you
have.
know what?
Not staged, but there's somebody said something about to make them ask about men. It has because I don't think they always do that. I don't
But you
know,
know
but I
what?
can't see it.
Oh, I'm gonna throw this in here real quick, and then I'm gonna get back to you, Sean. So, what I'm thinking is that in this day and age, since there are a lot of couples where I'm not gonna just say the men are down low, but women are down low too.
Mm,
Maybe it's becoming more common for them to ask it because they're finding deception in that area with people
true,
nowadays. Maybe.
true.
So, I'm sorry, Sean. I think we got cut off.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, you were gonna say that?
Yeah, based off of past experience with other people that ask questions. So he probably just said with anybody. keeping it open.
Okay. Because, I'm like digging. I'm like, what they out there putting? They set that dude up, the camera, the directors, all them. But all right,
Now,
I give him a break.
now I am questioning, how did they get those pictures? Did Shane voluntarily give them those pictures? Or did they go out there trying to find them on OnlyFans?
Somebody subscribed to that page and sent it.
Is it that easy to find somebody on OnlyFans? Like,
I feel like those pictures are locked down, so you got to be a subscriber and probably screenshot them and then put it out there.
And technically, that's supposed to be against the law.
Well, those pictures actually, but those aren't pornography type pictures. That's what's against the law.
Because I was gonna say, at my job, we had a person that got fired because they went on somebody OnlyFans and took a picture and they were showing it off.
But was that person doing something like half dressed or?
I don't know all that.
See, it probably was some nudity or something, because his pictures was him sitting in a car with fully dressed. If he was topless, I don't know if you can get a man for that, because men can be topless in public. But it probably was some nudity in there, something that's considered nudity.
I personally, I think it shouldn't matter, because if you is subscribed and they say don't take pictures, I don't think you should take pictures. I mean, take a picture of the person without their consent, and then give it off. So I don't know. Maybe someone that's watching might know the answer.
Yeah, they may know the answer and can tell us.
Yeah, if y'all know out there, somebody. Curious minds want to know.
Yeah, is it that easy to find someone on OnlyFans?
Well, now usually I don't know how you would search. Like, I don't know if OnlyFans has like a specific site. You go on there and you search the people, but a lot of people put it in their link tree, like on Instagram and all that. So like, if you, let's say you're friends with Lacey, well, if she's linked her OnlyFans too, which is where a lot of people seem to link it, is either Twitter or Instagram. Because I've seen a lot of OnlyFans links. It's just that if you click on them, it says subscribe, and that's where I click back off.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't understand the workings of OnlyFans. I haven't gone on there. So I'm not sure like how it works. I just imagine that there's a lot of people on there and trying to search. I just almost imagine kind of almost like Instagram, maybe, like if you don't know the person's screen name,
I don't know, but you got to check every time you get into somebody's stuff.
Yeah, and then I only imagine that they're not using their real names. So what I'm trying to figure out is how did production get those pictures?
So it's probably linked to his Instagram or linked to something. There's a page out there, or somebody told them. Yeah. Somebody told them the name and they found it. And probably if production did it, then I mean they paid for it, got the pictures, and then they put them on there. He provided the pictures, or somebody else provided the picture. Either way, they pulled the most questionable pictures out there. Because I was like, dang, when they started showing, I'm like, is he both? Maybe he's not. Which I still wonder.
I was doing a look trying to catch their attention, it's probably what he was doing. And then I guess I kind of want to speak back on when I said that he was outing Lacey. Maybe he wasn't technically outing her because he felt like, I know it came out, maybe it was last season or the season before, people were saying that she was a cam model. So maybe he thought he wasn't saying anything bad, but at the same token, I'm like, wait a minute, you're my spouse. Don't be telling people what I'm out here doing. And that's how I'm making money. But once I had heard cam model, I was like, okay, because we never see Lacey go to work. So it was like, how is she taking care of herself and those kids and stuff? Yeah. But that would make sense if that's what she's doing. Not to say that there's not other things that you can do from home. I'm not trying to say that either. Okay. So do y'all have any other thoughts about
OnlyFans? I need to find a foot fetish people, and I'm gonna do OnlyFans and just paint my toes on there or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they're out there.
I know. And people probably make good money. They're gonna be like, get that old cricket. Are those two at the same toe? Get off this page. You don't have get out of here. We're like, dang.
Yeah, well, see, I tend to wear the exact same toenail polish color, so they're probably like, you're boring, change color,
I'm gonna get on there. I'm gonna do a whole thing. I'm gonna clip my toenails, put lotion on my feet.
That's what you do.
Not even soaking one of them little foot things, like soak it in the little footy thing that you do for 20 minutes, and then be like, come back next time to see me rinse it off and and paint these toes. See how many foot fetish people I can get.
That's funny. Okay, Sean, what would your OnlyFans be? What fetish would you target?
I don't know. I don't have
Okay,
one.
what is your OnlyFans?
I don't have one. I
Look,
wouldn't tell
instead
you.
of asking him what would it be, what is your OnlyFans, Sean?
I wouldn't tell you. I wouldn't tell you. So go
Oh,
look it up.
How much would you charge?
Go look it up. Go look it up. I
how
can't
much
tell
would
you.
your subscription be per month? We got to go look that up too.
Yeah, yeah. Because if I say, then y'all gonna know. So nope.
That's funny. Okay,
Anybody gonna know?
I got you. I
Mhm.
get you.
Like that TikTok, they're not gonna know.
Yeah, nobody's gonna know. We'll keep it just between the three of us.
Yeah, I bet.
I felt like that was a weird wink. I can't get my wink right.
Mm.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Okay, so the next couple that graces the screen is Britney and Bray. Okay, so they show Britney and Ray are in the kitchen and they're, talking, and Britney's excited because Ray is off. It's a Saturday. So she wants to spend the day making love. But Ray has plans. He says he wants to go visit his cousin that doesn't live that far away. Brittany becomes upset. She's like, well, who is his cousin? Where does he live? Does he have drugs in the house? Does he have guns in the house? Just all these questions. Thanks for Ray, right? You can tell she doesn't like it. She's not happy at all with him. And so she's just asking him all these questions. And Ray is in his confessional and he's saying that he just wants some space, some time away from her, some time to himself. And he's saying he's been spending all of this time with her since he got out of prison, and he just wants to do something on his own. Okay. Um, and so Ray goes and gets dressed, and of course he comes down, and she makes a comment about his outfit, and it's like, "Oh, you look kind of dressed up. Go hang out with your cousin." And Ray, Ray was just like, "I just felt like putting on some clothes." And so Ray walks out the door, and as he's walking out the door, she calls Ray a bitch. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna come back to that. And so then we see it's apparently some hours later, and Brittany's cousin comes over to visit. I think her name was Shamitra. She comes over to visit, and she instantly starts talking to her cousin about Ray and saying that Ray went out with his cousin that supposedly lives close by. And, the cousin, of course, starts asking her questions and stuff. She's like, well, do you think he's not, where he says he is or whatever? And Brittany's like, well, we share our location, so I can see he's not that far away. Okay. And so Brittany has been calling Ray. Ray has not been answering her phone calls. That's also upsetting her, and she's telling her cousin, and her cousin's like, you need to probably pull up on him. And she's like, don't act a fool, but pull up on him so that he knows that ignoring you is not okay. Alrighty. And so we see Brittany getting into a car and driving away from the house. And that's where their scenes end. All right. So let me go back some here. All right. So Brittany, to me, it came out very controlling. I feel like you spend a lot of time with this man. You should expect that he may want to go somewhere without you. And then she made the comment, well, are you ashamed of me? And la la la. This man can't even go into your mother's house. But you're upset that he wants to go visit family when he's been in their house chained down to you. I mean, if you wanted to spend the day together, making love all day, maybe you should have talked to him and told him that was what you were hoping to do for the day so that he wouldn't make plans possibly. But I just felt like she was out of line. Like, you got to let your significant other have some time away from you that doesn't involve just them going to work. Like, it seems like she just wants to keep him away from the world. And anything he does, she needs to be right there beside him. All right. And then I also did not care for her calling him a bitch because he wants to go out and hang out with his cousin. he's a bitch now. Like that's not cool. That's not okay. You know, what do you guys think? Do y'all think Brittany was it wasn't a big deal that Brittany called him a bitch? Do y'all think she was overreacting a little bit about him going out with his cousin? Like, how did y'all feel about the scenes with Brittany?
I think she was perfectly fine with her action. She want her man to stay with her all day, all night. Then that's her priority. Go to work, come home, have sex, go to sleep, wake up, have sex, brush your teeth, go to work, and start it all over again. So he don't supposed to go nowhere, nowhere. Stay locked up, because all these decades and centuries, the woman's supposed to be what ball and chain, had the chain on and the ball inside the house. So Brittany is just making sure that he has the ball in the chain right in there. So he ain't supposed
Okay.
to lock and key, throw away the key.
Okay, so I can appreciate your chauvinistic viewpoint on this right there. And I liked how you added the
But
cherry on top with the ball and chain comment.
that's right.
I like
That's
that. What
right.
next? She needs to be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen.
He said he's talking about Ray is the one that's barefoot in the kitchen.
Oh, okay, yeah. Ray needs to be
Yeah.
barefoot. Yeah.
Yeah, but he can't be pregnant, but he can be barefoot and have a beer gut
In the kitchen.
Okay.
in the kitchen. And nowhere but the kitchen and the bedroom. That's the only two places he allowed to go.
Damn.
Oh, he got to go to work too, because he got to buy that ring. But for real though, she tripping. She tripping.
She's tripping hard. Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because like one, which you had said, and I was thinking the same thing when she had said, "Oh, so you ashamed of me? I can't go with you with your family." The man did bring her to meet his family. She met the dad. She had a conversation, I believe, with the mom, or was it the aunt in the bedroom? So that's what she felt comfortable enough to talk to that family member. She in the living room or dining room, whichever room it was, when they was talking about the reparation, and they had that conversation with the family.
Yeah.
The family came over to her house. They sat in her house and they ate and talked and all that type of stuff. So all that stuff she did with his family. And the only thing he got to do with the family was sit in the driveway for hours and couldn't even go use the bathroom because he had to sit there and wait just in case the mom says it's okay to come in. So that right there, and I was like, that's crazy. And then you got the phone. Now I disagree with Ray because when she called, he should have answered the phone and talk to her. Go to the side, go to the side and talk to her and say, yeah, everything's fine. Ain't nothing going on. I'm just still here with my cousin. I'll be home in a few. So that way would put her mind at ease because he should have sensed that she had a problem with him leaving because when she said, is there going to be other women there? And that's why you don't want me to come.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question with that. Okay. So do we think it could be a possibility maybe he's not answering her phone calls because he heard her call him a bitch and maybe he's not ready to talk to her right now? Maybe.
Yeah, that's a possibility. That's a possibility, but yet still, because he know how she felt about the whole thing, he should have even addressed that too. When she called him, like, well, hey, everything's fine, and I'm not this here thing that you just called me. I don't appreciate that. And I heard what you said, as I was walking out the door, and address that then, or maybe he's going to address it when he get home about it, but yet still should answer the phone because this is your significant other, and that will put her mind at ease because she feel like, she's a failure. They can't have a baby because of all the stuff that's happened with her. And we have an opportunity to make babies or make love or whichever one she said it was. And you would prefer to go out and hang out with your boy. And then she have her doubts about who the cousin is because you've been in this house for so long. And now all of a sudden you wants to go over to the cousin house. So that's a little suspect, if he would just answer the phone, talk to her for a little bit, and then that'll put her mind at ease a little bit. And then the other thing with her is you don't always have to listen to your friend or that close person. That was her cousin, right? So you don't always have to listen to what the other person say because 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be like trying to get you all bucked up to go over there and act a fool, and say, "Oh, do this, I'll do that." They wouldn't do that to me. Oh, he ain't answer the
Right.
phone.
It's
So he,
that because sometimes they give you advice they wouldn't follow.
right, right. So now you all got the added gasoline to the fire, and now you're gonna run over there, and it'd be real funny if it is women over there. It'd just be his grandmother, because the grandmother's not allowed to come over there, so he has to sneak out to go visit his grandmother at his cousin.
Yeah, because he knows she will have something smart to say about the grandma coming to the house.
Right.
Done that in the past.
Mm-hmm. So it's
Yeah.
what you, yeah, she's tripping, but he has his faults too, where he could have changed stuff by just answering the phone call. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he has created a situation with that. I can agree with that. All right, Reese. So, what did you think of Brittany and Bray?
Yeah, I said it all. I mean, he was wrong for not answering. She was wrong for calling him out of his name. Um, I do think that they spend every single day together because they live together. So if he want to go visit family, um, and I don't think like at this point I would stop introducing her to family members of mine until I meet her mom.
Yeah.
Like you would meet no more family until I meat because she's met the most important people in his life and he hasn't in
Yeah.
hers except her dad and with a sister. And the dad was forced into it. It ain't like the dad agreed. Actually, they both were forced into it. Nobody
Yeah.
they didn't know that's what they were coming over for.
Right.
So, and his family wasn't forced into it. She's been to their house, you know what I'm saying, without him. So it's like, until he get that same respect, I would not blame him if he doesn't let her meet no other family member.
Now that'd
Um,
be nice if you said that.
hmm?
I said that'd have been nice if you told him that.
Yeah,
That shut her
yeah,
up.
yeah. And that's what I would have said. I'd have been like, when she said, "Oh, I can't meet him," like, "Can I meet your mom?" You know what I'm saying?
Oh
She would
yeah.
have said it. She
Oh,
would
they
have.
would have shut her up real quick.
Yeah, and even if it's tit for tat, so what? Like, you don't get to keep meeting everybody and hide your family, because then what does that make me feel like? Like, so right now she's feeling like a piece of crap. Well, what do you think you make him feel every day?
Right.
So I don't blame him. Now, right now, I'm be Team Ray on this one and say like she's straight tripping. Now, if they go over there, because next week she do walk in and say where the hoes at and all this. So if that's the case, and she goes in there tripping, and there is females in there, then hey, whatever. But I feel like too, when the friend got her riled up or the cousin got her riled up, what I didn't like was you're like, oh, you don't need to be acting like that. You need to go in there and be like, hey, you pay for the phone or whatever, so turn it off and this and that. And then when she like, yeah, I do. And if they got his phone, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna take the phone. And she like, no, 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 don't be ghetto. But what you just told, you riled her up to be ghetto. So you can't rile her up, bring it back down, rile her up, bring it back down. Because all you've done is created this monster really. Because she like, you're right, you're right. So then when she goes over there, I doubt that you're right is what's gonna come out. It's gonna be
No.
that.
He's gonna be loud and ghetto and rambunctious. Oh,
Because
absolutely.
that's what she just. And if you know she's like that, then don't do that. Like come at her in a sensible way. Like I mean, I don't know. You track his phone, so if he leaves that spot, then we roll out. Or
Yeah.
you track his phone, and I don't even know if he knows his phone is tracked, because then she bought a phone for him, so she probably did that.
Yeah. She
But
probably. Yeah. She
yeah,
probably
so
had
it's like I don't know. She's been real with the way she's treated him. Like I just feel like she just don't have no place to stand on what she's even saying. Like if he was
no.
out with other women, like you also dropped a bomb on him that you should have told him a long time ago. So maybe this dude really is like, I just need to get out, and he wrong if he's cheat, like not necessarily cheating, but hanging out with another female. So cheating, I guess, in a sense. But in a way, right now, I feel like you put him in a position to where, this dude has done nothing but be faithful to you, and then he sold you everything, and you still
Well,
hold him.
question. So if he goes over there and he didn't know that females was there, and he gets there and there's females there, and he just stayed, but he don't entertain none of them. So is that cheating?
Mm-mm.
No.
That's,
No, I think if she shows up and there are females there, she does not have a right to just automatically assume that the worst is going on because maybe they're there for other men or they were waiting for somebody else to come. But for me, I feel like she's wrong going over there
Yeah.
because she doesn't. technically know that he's done anything, and he hasn't done anything to set off your suspicions, except not let you come. But a man has a right to be able to hang out with his friends and not bring you every single time. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like, my significant other, I don't mind if you come with me sometimes, but every time, no. Me and my sister, when my sister come and visit, me and her, we're gonna go off together alone sometimes, but that doesn't mean I'm cheating. It's like I need some alone time for my sister. And I
Mhm.
should be able to have that without it being assumed I'm cheating and my location is tracked, because I think overall he hasn't given her a reason except for today. So even for her to go pop up, I think it's wrong. Um, because it's insinuating that you don't trust him, that you feel like something is going on.
Now that was the cousin I think that got her like ready to go do that.
Yeah.
Now I think she probably would have been on that mind frame. If you move, I'm following. But like if his location went past that house, it's like, oh no, we're gonna see what this is. You said you're going to the cousin's house. And I
Right.
guess at that point, the normal female crazy in me would be like, yeah, I guess you should go see where he's going. They might be going to the store, but just make sure.
I
But
just think she should have the location, because they could leave the house to go to Waffle House to go get something to eat. It doesn't mean that they're leaving the house to go to a strip club. Now, if you see the location is that Waffle House is near the strip club, I understand. But uh, you know, and I hope he figures it out and turns that location off if she's doing stuff like that.
now, well, once he sees it, he probably like, dang.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
it's still on now, he should be turning it off.
Yeah, because while
But
she's at work, she's probably looking at it.
make sure he don't leave the house. Or if he
Mhm.
do, it's to work.
Yeah,
Um, she like, wait a minute, you took a different route. You must have had a ride, not an Uber. What you doing? But
yeah,
one thing I will say, like, I'm torn on, but at the same time, I feel like she's being petty because. So this is where I feel like I understand where she came from. When she asked did the cousin have like drugs, guns, those are all legit things when he on probation. That's legit. Like you're not off of probation, so you can't be around certain things. Legit. So she's not wrong for asking it, but I feel like she only asked it because she can't go. And I don't see him as being somebody who's gonna go over there and do drugs or anything like that. I don't know. Um, but at the same time, it's like just because it's my cousin doesn't mean they're a drug dealer or you know what I'm saying? And it's a cousin that you don't know. Doesn't mean they do drugs, sell drugs, got guns. Like that kind of stuff is not like, this ain't just his homeboy, this is family.
Mhm.
So hopefully his family wouldn't put him in a predicament. Not to
yeah.
say they wouldn't, but so like I'm torn on that piece of it. Like I feel like she wasn't asking out of genuineness. It was more of trying to deter him from going. But what she said was legit. Like, hopefully, he was smart enough not to be in a place like
And
that.
yeah, and I agree with you that I do believe that the questions are reasonable to ask, but it was like the way she did it and when she
Yeah,
did it
yeah.
Yeah.
was where I kind of was like, you kind of going a bit far. But no, I totally understand her asking that, especially since he's like paroled to her home.
Mhm.
You know, if he gets some drugs over there and bring them back home and it's discovered, I do get it from that
Yeah.
aspect. But it's just like it didn't come off in a genuine place to me.
Nope.
Came off more as a jealous, controlling way.
Nope. She got to stop that. She's so controlling. It's like her, whatever. And that's the thing, too. So here's my last point on them. I'm with you on the fact of you can, and then I've been guilty of it. And then I'm like, I had to realize, like, if I didn't share what my plans were in my head, then I can't be mad that somebody else doesn't want to do it. So, like, for instance, if I come to your house and I'm like, oh, we're going to go shopping, we're going to do this, we're going to go eat, and we're going to eat at my favorite restaurant. And then you're cooking, it's like, wait, no, don't cook because we're supposed to go shop, we're supposed to do this, go do that. But if you already started cooking, it's like, hey, well, you didn't tell me any of this. So I did what I was thinking would be the best thing as a host. So if you didn't tell him, hey, you got a day off coming up next week, or this weekend, let's do something together, let's get out because we don't get to see each other all the time. I think that would have been reasonable. And then maybe if he had to split the time, like, hey, I'm gonna go to my cousin's in the morning, or yeah, let's do something early because I'm gonna go to my cousin's in the afternoon. I think that would have been cool. But if he didn't know and he just made plans with his cousin, what can you really do? It just because you put it in your head doesn't mean if you didn't say it out loud, it didn't. It's not. It doesn't exist. It's not true.
Yes, unspoken expectations do not lead to actions.
Yep.
I always say that. You have to tell your partner what it is. You can't hide something and expect a
Yeah,
different.
you can't expect him to just be like, "Well, I'm off today, so I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of sex, and that's it." Like, no, he's like, man,
No,
like in his eyes, he might be like, "I'll get some later, and I'm going to see my
Yeah.
cousin now."
no, he's
Yeah.
supposed to know. He was supposed to know that's what she wanted.
Well, he wouldn't
That's what
supposed to leave
she
the house
always,
according to you.
that's what she always wants. So why would he not know that
Yeah,
that's what
it's
she
true.
Well, at the same token, if that's what she always wants and she makes it available to him whenever he wants to, I'm with Risa. He's probably thinking, well, you know what? I can go hang out with my cousin. When I get back home, I can get it. Then tomorrow I can get it 5 times. Tomorrow, whatever, because it's always there, always readily available. Like your cookie jar.
not
Your cookie
not
jar
five
on the
times.
counter. You can go grab you a cookie whenever you want to. You take that for granted, you know.
She's
But
not
maybe
is Leslie? Yeah, she not Leslie. Ain't no 5 times. Talking about some 5 times. uh,
Lacey.
Lacey, yeah, Lacey, yeah.
Yeah, but she comes off like a little mini Lacey because, good grief,
yeah,
the way
yes,
she
because
makes it
I feel
sound is
like
like she's like worse than you. Like it wouldn't even know. Wake up, have sex, brush your teeth, go to work, come home, have sex. I think it's brush your teeth, have sex, wake up, have sex, brush your teeth, eat some breakfast, have sex, go to work, come home for lunch and have sex. That's the way she come off to me. Like, and she might be a mini Lacey. The only thing she might say is, I'll let you slide for lunch." But she probably do want it like twice before work, 3 times after.
Because she's
She
not.
did that because she's desperate to get pregnant, and I get it. You have a you don't know when your window is because you don't have two ovaries, but you know what I mean, that's not his fault, and he's been trying, and it ain't happened yet. Like,
Yeah,
just let it happen.
because I'm surprised she didn't use that as one of the reasons why he shouldn't go. She's like, well,
Yeah.
I only got one, so you need to take a.
She was ovulating this week today.
Yeah.
He might have seen
but
that thing. And
again,
look,
yeah,
she probably did the little ovulation stick and it said no, and he was like, "No, all right, we good then."
but then again, you got to tell your partner, like, hey, I know you want to go to your cousin's house, but I'm ovulating today. 50-50 shot here. But if you're not seeing that and you're doing all this other controlling stuff, seeing this other controlling stuff, how would they know?
Well, she
Yeah,
gonna
he
say,
should be like, "Let me get some before you leave."
yeah,
Yeah,
she gonna
she could
say,
have said that, but you know what? Maybe she did, and maybe that was why she called him a bitch. And then because she had offered to, let's go upstairs, and he didn't want to. He went and got
You're like,
dressed.
"All right, took a shower and I'm on the way out the door."
Mhm.
uh,
Then he had the nerve to come down looking nice. Oh, that would really upset her off, you know. So you know what? She probably did offer it to him, and yeah, he just wasn't there for it. But he knows when he comes back home, he could get it.
Yeah, you know that.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why he can win every argument from now on until she get pregnant. Anytime she start fussing, he be like, well, we ain't got time. You only got half. Go upstairs. We can finish talking afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
Then
shut her
everybody
down
go
every
to sleep, and
time.
then he's like, "All right, argument over."
Okay, so next we had John and Christiana. Okay, so their scene starts out with they are taking everything out of their cars and taking it into the wedding venue. All right, so we see Christiana's mom is like crying in a hallway, or it looks like it's a hallway. I don't know. Okay, and so she's saying that she has some doubts that Christiana and John are going to have this happy ending. And so I almost wonder, does Christiana's mama know something about Tara and John that she's not saying? Because why is she so upset? Okay. And so John's daughter is also there. She tells John she wants to have a talk with him. And she tells him she's concerned about her little sister getting attached to Christiana. And then Christiana ends up becoming addicted to drugs again and goes to prison. She's like, she doesn't want her little sister to get attached to her. Then she relapses. I mean, it's an understandable concern. And then his daughter also gets upset because she feels like he's not really listening to her, which I was a little bit confused by because it's like, what did you expect him to kind of say? What, like, oh, I'm going to call off the wedding today because of these concerns. He did listen. Well, I'm not going to say he just was listening and saying, putting in an action plan. I feel like he did hear her out, didn't tell her what he's going to do or that he has plans or something. He didn't do that. So maybe that's what she was looking for. But I felt like on this wedding day, I didn't really know what she was kind of looking for unless she was looking for an action plan. I don't know. And so Christiana's mom, they go back to Christiana and her mom, and her mom is feeling bad about the way their childhood was, but Christiana reassures her that she was a good mom. And then we also see Christiana's son. He actually did come. He told her he wasn't sure, but he did end up coming. And they have a nice little mother and son moment where Christiana apologizes to her son for the things that she's done to him over the years, and he accepts her apology. Um, we also see Christiana trying to call Tara. Her sister. Tara still is not answering the phone. Christiana is upset by that, and then mom is also mad at Tara. So what did y'all think of John and Christiana this week?
Well, first of all of the side conversations to me, like I get it. But they made no sense because they're already married. You're not stopping a
Right.
marriage. They're already married. All they're doing is having a second wedding. They've had one that was like shotgunish, weird country. And now they're having an actual wedding, I think, that is supposed to be nicer than that. Well, yeah, it should be nice. But like it's indoors and stuff. But it's like, why are y'all trying to stop it or say things like, "Hey, be careful about this," or make the right decision? They're already married. If they don't have the wedding today or that day, it's not gonna matter. So I'm echoing. Come on, somebody. So the other thing that just was driving me crazy was that it's just ain't working. So the other thing that was driving me crazy was this. Oh my gosh, I hear myself echoing. I'm sorry. So I do agree, like he does need to be careful with that little daughter because you don't want her to get attached to somebody who's not, you know what I'm saying? If you don't think it's gonna work, he said he's been married like 4 times, engaged twice. That's too much. Like you brought too many women, and I'm sure some of the women are their moms, but that's too many people that you probably have had them get close bonds with. And so the sister is probably speaking from experience, like, hey, don't let her keep going through that. Like she's got like, you know what I'm saying, 3 more years or whatever till she's an adult. And it's like, but don't have her getting pulled around by other women. So I do agree with the sister on that. I don't think that old girl should have stormed out. I mean, she's like, my sister's supposed to be here. This is supposed to be a day for me and my sister, and we supposed to bond. And I'm like, that's too much. If she don't show up, it's still your day. You move on. You know what I mean? I get that you want your sister there, but to me, I feel like she's being extra dramatic when it's not like today was the first day she didn't hear from the sister. She didn't hear from the sister in a minute. Like even when she was, doing the dress shopping and all that. So it's to me, it shouldn't be a surprise that you don't hear from her today. So that's why I was like, I didn't get the extraness on that. What else was there I said that I didn't? Oh, I was happy about the son coming. So I was like, I'm glad he did do that because maybe it's a chance to mend their relationship. I didn't like their outfit. The men.
Yeah. And then I also
Like y'all
did
had
not
this suit there,
like
huh?
how it seemed like nobody was sure if their outfits were going to fit or their outfits didn't fit properly. I also didn't like that.
Yeah, and I felt like he told the daughter, he was like, "Hey, your outfit," or he was like, "Put your dress on." She like, "It's too tight." Like I feel like you should listen to these things. Now, if they had bought the outfits a year ago, quarantine happened, maybe the kid gained some weight. Okay, but I don't think they bought them that long ago. So the job bought her a size too little because that's not fair for her. She got to be uncomfortable the whole wedding just so that you can have that dress for her. I'm like, you figure something else out, get it taken out, do something. I don't know, but I don't think that was right.
She's just a
It's
kid.
like he disregarded that when he was like, "Hey," and then after she said it's too tight, he was like, "Hey, get her dress." I'm like, "Did
That's
you not
right.
hear?"
She's just a kid. She only gonna be in the
She's
thing for like 2 hours.
15.
Oh, suck it up. Suck it
She's
up. Move on.
15. She's
Suck
not
it
like
up.
a
Move
little
it on.
toddler who you can squeeze into a tight little outfit and make them look stupid and they don't know. Like that's
All
a
thing she had to do is walk down the aisle. That's it. And I don't even think she had to walk down the aisle. She should already be in place. So she ain't got to be in there
no.
long.
But what
So
about
I,
dancing at the
But
reception?
but I'll tell you.
just
So
sit
okay,
down in the
so
corner. Don't move.
Have you tried sitting down in a tight dress?
Uh,
You don't need to
no,
sit.
I have not. No, I have not.
Yeah, you don't want to make
uh,
yourself sit somewhere. I'm sorry, Racy. You had
yeah.
you don't hear the echo?
yeah.
Who's echoing? Did somebody got something on in the background?
I mean,
Okay. Because it's probably gonna be annoying to the viewers, but I don't know. But so one thing that I was like,
I know it's hard to talk.
so I was in a wedding one time, and I don't blame like my aunt, like she probably really didn't understand, but like so we had cute dresses. She was understanding because I had different shoes than everybody because I couldn't, my feet are small, I couldn't wear the strappy shoes. So I'm like, so she compromised, but then she brought us this jewelry and the earrings. I looked at them and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do this. The earrings are they're gonna make my ears swell up or they're gonna make my ears hurt. And I told her, I said, I can't wear those earrings. But she was like, girl, be quiet, just put them on. You're only gonna wear them for a little while.
That's it.
By the time
I said, that's it. Just sit.
no, by the time I took the earrings off, I took the earrings off and my ears was like swollen, pussing, and everything else. But I'm like, I did what I had to do for the wedding. But I showed her, I was like, hey, kind of like when a kid get a whooping and you like, hey, look what you did to me. So I did let her know, like, hey, look, it's swollen. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So that's the thing is when somebody tells you something is wrong, even if it's right before the wedding, like, I don't know, try to figure something out. If she got to put the dress on, she got to put the dress on. But I felt like the dad disregarded her. And I'm like, at least acknowledge that you heard that the dress is too small. She's 15. She's not a kid. If she, like I said, if she was a toddler, elementary school kid, it's like, just suck it up. You'll be all right. Because really and truly, little kids usually are all right. But no, if it don't fit, what she's supposed to walk around with the zipper undone, like, so I just felt like that was a moment that I caught for me that I was like, oh, that's messed up. He just completely ignored her when she said, but the dress is too tight. He just like, get her dress and moved on. And I'm like, dang. Because then the sister showed up. But I don't know. I just thought that like with them doing all that, pulling people to the side and all that, they're already married. Like it's nothing you can do. Maybe you can bring things to their attention, but they're already married. This is just a marriage like people do a 5-year renewal, or like on our other show they're gonna do a 25-year renewal or whatever it was. Not 25.
Yeah.
It was 25.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, renewal. So with that being said, you can't talk, you know what I'm saying? Them out of getting married, they're already married for 25 years. So these two are already married. Like, it's too late now. But I don't know. I feel like hopefully we get some answers come the actual wedding, maybe. Because if nothing happens at the wedding, I'm going to be actually a little bit disappointed. Not because I want drama, but because they did all this. Now I want to see why they're doing this. Like, is
Yes.
okay going to show up and act the fool? Is there something we should know? Like, because I feel like there's something missing that maybe the daughter knows and the mom knows, and we don't know. I'm like, at least tell us. Go in the confessional and tell us. You can tell them.
I'm not sure, but I think that just seeing the mom crying and stuff, it's almost like they're building up to the sister showing up at the wedding. But I have a feeling it may be the mom that stands up and says something. But I'm like you, Reese, they're already married. So why are y'all doing this at this time? You could do this at any time, not at the moment that they paid money to have a good time and to celebrate something in front of everybody.
Exactly. That's all I had.
Okay, Sean, what did you have?
Oh, I agree with Reese, except for the daughter pulling the dad on the side,
Mm-hmm.
talking about the little girl,
Uh-huh.
sister, and getting attached and stuff. Because I'm like, they already married, and
Yeah.
the daughter should already be attached to her
Mm.
at this point. So that was a pointless
Yeah,
side.
it is pointless. I agree with you on that.
So so for her to just bring it up, I was like, okay, that don't make no sense. So that was unnecessary.
Yeah.
So that's why I disagree with her bringing that up. Period. Uh, and the because like we already said, they're married. They've been married for a while now, and that whole marriage thing is, as he says, for her because she gave him his marriage in the truck. Now he want to give her marriage,
But
and
yeah.
and then wedding. I'm sorry, and then also her running around crying over her sister not being there. I agree with those comments too, what you said, because this is your day. It's not y'all. You know? And since it's your day, you should not be worried about her being there or not, because she's not going to make your day even better than it would have been if she is or not, because you're already married. So
Right.
there's nothing that she's bringing to the table. And if you
Yeah.
need her to be there in order for you to be happy, then that means y'all should have had this thing before the marriage, come together, and then y'all can be happy, and not a wedding, which you don't know that she was not invited by both parties to, and so the that whole thing, yeah, that whole thing, which is what you call it.
Yeah.
But I really didn't pay too much attention to the whole thing about the dad dress being tight.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was quick. It was
Yeah,
quick.
'cause when he said just go and get the girl dressed, I just thought that okay, that dress was just a little bit too tight, and she needs someone to help pull it down, because that was that. But I get what you're saying, and I understand that parents need to listen to their kids a little bit more.
Or if you're a bride and groom and somebody in the wedding is saying like, "Hey, this don't fit right," to me it reflects on your wedding, like because if people gonna be looking like, "Dang, look at his suit, like he couldn't even pull it over his tootie tie," you know what I'm saying? Like it's hanging off, or her dress like she about to pop, like people gonna be paying attention to that. So I think like in the case where I gave my own example, nobody noticed the earrings because during the wedding the earrings weren't a problem. I just knew that I can't wear certain earrings for longer than maybe a couple hours, or else my ears would get crazy. And it got worse, and that's probably the worst I ever seen my ears get. But I could look at the earrings and tell, like, everything else that we wore was good. It was just those earrings. I was like, my ear is not gonna do well with that. You know what I'm saying? And it, like I said, for her moment, they were good. By the time we got to the reception, I think that's where I was like, yeah, I can't do it no more. Like they're stuck. Had to rip them out. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like nasty. So I mean, if the little girl can, if she can suck it up for that little time, whatever. But yeah,
Yeah, but I think it was his brother who, when he gave him his jacket, he was like, "Well, I hope this fits." So it was. I don't know if y'all caught that part. So I was
no,
just like,
I didn't see that.
"Yeah, I think it was right after the daughter." But his brother, he had the ponytail, and
Okay, yeah, on
remember
top
he
of his
had
head,
in the
little
jacket.
funny.
Yeah, and he was like, "Well, I hope I can get this on our fit." So it was more than just them. It's like, what were y'all doing? Y'all did y'all not try anything on anybody, or what? Or were you not listening when people were giving you their feedback on their outfits? So yeah, that was kind of had me like,
Well,
Yeah,
it could have been that they asked everybody their size, and because they didn't want people to know that they was actually bigger than what they were, so instead of saying a 45 regular, he was like, "Oh, I'm a 22." Yeah, and then so his brother went on and bought exactly what he asked. Hmm.
yeah. I mean, that could be because I know that does tend to happen. Yeah.
but like, and my sister know because my aunt when she got married, like we all got our dresses mailed to us, so we all live in different places, and I don't know how she did it, but every single dress was perfect. We just had to go find our shoes, and she told us what shoes to get. It's just I was the only one that couldn't get the same ones, but everything was perfect. It's just the only thing that we didn't know was happening was the jewelry, and she brought that to us a day of. And so maybe had I had a chance to talk to her prior to, I could have told her like I got sensitive ears, but you don't. To me, you don't surprise people the day of with something. Because like I said, when she sent it to us, we had time to try it on and say we can't fit it. Them, if you getting it the same day and you want everybody to dress the same, you just did it wrong because people need more than the day of to know, like, I can't fit this.
Right.
Or even shoot, even the day before. If you brought it to me the day before and said, this is your dress and I can't fit it, what am I supposed to do? Like, because maybe, you know what? And then the thing is, I don't know how it is for men, but like women, you might wear a small, medium, large in one thing, but because something is cut different, you might wear like a smaller size or a bigger size. So like when it comes to clothes, like I just feel like you should give people at least enough time to receive their outfit. If they can't fit it, that way they can get the right size. So like to me, it seemed almost like everybody's gonna squeeze into that stuff, and we just gotta hope and pray that it ain't gonna be nothing crazy. But because they're kind of used to ghetto stuff, country stuff, I should say not ghetto, country stuff, they might just suck it up and everybody be popping out, buttons flying everywhere, and they might not care. Oh, what did y'all think about the dress when she put it on?
Again, I just wanted like her sleeves to fit. It seemed like her sleeves, like
Too
everything that was
big.
there, yeah, was too big. And so I didn't like that. I wish she had gotten that altered to fit her a little bit better.
Yep. I thought the same thing. Like when she stormed out, I was like, the bottom is beautiful. Like all that, like what's it called, tulle. I was like,
Hmm.
the bottom beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh. At least from what I could see, it looked like it was like real fluffy and beautiful on the bottom. But I was like,
Yeah.
well, the top is too big. Like, so I don't think she don't even know her size. So maybe that's why they messed stuff up.
But you know what is so weird is normally when you go and you try on a wedding dress, you know, they look at you and they see what needs to be altered. You know, they'll start measuring you and stuff. Or at least that's what they did when I went. So I just found it odd, and it looked like she went to a smaller boutique. So it seems like they would have done that. They would have been like, oh, okay, this is too,
Think all of them do it, big
yeah.
ones and small ones. Yep. Cause they're making money. Shoot.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
know
and they want you to
even
look
with
good.
mine.
Mhm. I was gonna say, and they want you to look good. So when people ask you where'd you get your dress, you'll say them.
Yeah. Cause even with my friend's wedding that I was in, we like picked out bridesmaid dresses that same day she got her dress. And they were like, we need to take those in, we can. Because I think the size I ordered, I wasn't sure about. And they were like, well, it could be too big, but we'll see when you get it. But I ended up fitting it. But um, if I couldn't, they were gonna take it in for me. It's just I was like, look now, because this was it wasn't like my aunt. Like I got spoiled. My aunt bought those dresses. This is what I had to pay for, and I was like, this ain't no cheap dress, y'all. I'm like, you talking about $200, and I gotta take it in. I was like, thank goodness I gained like a couple pounds before her wedding, and I actually fit it. But I was like, man, it's like that's to me. I don't know. That can make or break a wedding, though. Like somebody walk in, their dress fall off because it's too big. Somebody else walk in and they can't pull their pants up. I mean, you should really, to me, the wedding day is not the day to find that out. And I feel like that's what they were doing. Only person that I understood that for was the son, and that's because she did not know if he was coming. And let's say
Right.
if the sister showed up, maybe they had a dress for her, I would understand that one. Those two are the only exceptions, but everybody else apparently said they were coming. Y'all should
Yeah.
have been done before
Yeah.
that. Or
And
push
that's
the wedding
something.
day to that.
Yeah, and that's something I did think about. I was like, maybe Christiana bought Tara some stuff for the wedding, like a dress, the jewelry. Maybe that's why she's so upset. Because I'm like you, Reese. Your sister has not been answering phone calls, not returning phone calls. So you kind of should have expected she may not be there.
Mhm.
It shouldn't be hurting you so badly that she's not there.
And even if it hurt, if you expect it, you move on from that moment. And then like as a you know what I'm saying, you deal with it after the wedding. Like this hurt because you didn't even show up. Because you don't know if she's gonna show up. She might just show up and be in the audience. So at
Yes,
this
yeah,
point you
show up
just
for the
pray she
reception.
comes. Yeah, you pray that she comes. And if nighttime hits and you didn't went home, you didn't cleaned up, whatever, and she ain't show up, then yeah, now that's a problem. That's when you should be like, I can't believe she never showed up and fall. And you know, it's like have your moment, but at this point, like your son showed up. To me, that's bigger than her showing up. So I mean, cause you got a son. Like if I didn't show up, yeah, it would hurt. But if your son didn't show up, to me that would hurt more. So it's like your son. To me, that's the one who like rejoice in that,
Yeah.
and then come back and deal with the feelings for the sister later.
Yeah, especially your son that showed up that you haven't seen in years
Yes.
and that you put a lot of hurt on.
And
Um,
if you ain't even met him, but he showed up. What
mhm.
you think about that, Sean, being like a guy? Like, what do you think about like the son showed up? You think she should have been, and you got kids. Would it hurt you more if you have family members? Not parents, I guess that's different, but unless they're part of the wedding. That's the other thing. If they're part of the wedding, but you got to be part of the planning to be part of the wedding because you can't say, this is my bridesmaid, this is my groomsman, and you never have these people, you never got in contact with them, you haven't heard from them since you planned it, and then they'll be like, I hope they show up. No, you got to actually talk to people and get confirmations. So obviously, they're not your groomsmen or your bridesmaids. So, like, what do you think about that part?
But yeah, I think that would be more happy that her son showed instead of her sister not showing because of the relationship that she had with her son and not knowing that he was going to come because it was up in the air. At least with the sister, you had time to prepare for her not to come because she always was not answering any phone calls. So and then plus her boy didn't want her to be there anyway, so her husband didn't want her to be there anyway, and the husband probably didn't want the son to be there because that's your son. So
Oh,
yeah,
oh, wait, you said he didn't or he did?
oh, he did. He probably did
Oh,
want
okay,
the son
okay.
because how he knows that the relationship that she want with her son.
Mm.
And two, my question is because I don't know when the found out that she was flirting with her husband. Did she tell her sister, "You got to leave and never come back. I don't want to see you," anything like that? When they
Yeah, when they had to fight, I'm not for sure, but I remember she did hit the sister, so maybe the sister doesn't want to come down.
right, because
She
that
hit
right,
her too. Dang.
Yeah,
that,
yeah, she had slapped her.
so that right there, until you apologize for the way you treated me, I don't want to come to support your event to make you feel good about yourself. Because when we last saw each other, that's the last time they saw one another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the last time we saw one another, it wasn't a pleasant ending. So
Right.
now you want me to just up and come and you didn't apologize for slapping me. You just took your husband and which is rightfully so if you wants to be with your husband. You go with your husband and you tell your sister to go left. So now you want me in your marriage and we ain't even solved that problem yet. So
Yeah.
for the sister
True.
not to be there, then she shouldn't be upset. Because one of the things she should be thinking that, oh well, maybe she's not coming. Forget about on drugs because they just went straight to that. Maybe she's not coming because she don't want to be in the same room with you and your husband.
True.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Because for
Very,
whatever
very.
reason, she want him too. Let me stop doing that. But I don't get it. Like, cause okay, this is my only thing. This is my last. I think I've already said that, but this is my last one for real now.
Okay.
So the sister, like Christiana, when they showed them two in the the backstage, I don't care what I say about her eyebrows. I still think there's something about her face that she's not ugly to me. Like she still has pretty, like not she's not pretty. Well, she could be pretty if she did more to herself. But like when she smiles and stuff, like she actually isn't an ugly woman. But I see him and I'm like, why?
But you know what? It's one of those things where I think with John and how he keeps getting all these women is that he treats them very well. If you look at even, the way he treats Christiana, he treats her well. He's not mistreating.
Hmm.
Um, and then especially if you think about, I don't know that this is their background, but I'm just saying, especially if, let's say, Christiana has had men who have not treated her right. And then
True.
all of a sudden she meets a guy who's really nice to her and who's doing things that other men may not have done or
True.
treated her way, then it would be easy for her to fall for. Now, the sister, I think, she could have possibly looked at it like, okay, he treats my sister very well. He's even opened his home to me and my sister. Um, Maybe that was what was attractive for her, maybe, but it shouldn't have been because it should have been like that's still my sister's man. Let's not allow this to go there. But that's the only thing that I can think of is that's probably it. Like he's treats them, really well, and like you see how he's taking on this Bonnie and Clyde persona with the sister. I saw when Christiana called her, she had Bonnie and Clyde on her phone. I'm like, these two. So I think that's probably what it is
Yeah.
that, he knows how to have the personality for them.
Yeah.
I get how he treats his daughter, but we don't really see him treating Christiana like that.
Nah.
So I think that's what it is. It's about their personality.
You don't know if he treated his daughter bad so much as
Yeah,
he
I don't think
listens
that he
to her.
necessarily treats her bad, but do I think that he doesn't always listen to his daughter? And that's probably a trauma from her childhood with him. Absolutely. I don't believe that's the first time she's tried to talk to him about something and he didn't listen. I kind of got a feeling that that's probably something he does quite a bit.
Well, the fact that he said he's been married 4 times, I think that has
Yeah.
affected her, and engaged twice. So that's 6 different
Mhm.
women, or at
Yeah.
least 5, because one marriage got to be Christiana. But that's at least 5 different women that outside of her mom. So 4 different women that came in and out of her life that she might even got attached to. So she's speaking from experience, I think.
Right. You're right.
Or at
Okay.
least listen, and like he said, I'm listening, but it doesn't change nothing. So
Yeah. She should have been saying this to him before they had that wedding in the back of the pickup truck, maybe.
you know what I'm thinking though, because remember she said he does things, get in relationships, and it's sometimes he does it so quick and nobody knows, and it's too late. So I'm
Hmm.
wondering, was this one of them? Like before she could even have a say, they were already married.
Yeah, that's a good possibility because I know last time when they got married after he picked her up from the prison,
Oh,
literally on the way to take her to the halfway house. So
yeah,
yeah, that's probably exactly what happened there, where they
yeah.
didn't get to put in any.
Oh yeah, they didn't even get a say in that.
Yeah, and then you also got to think about it. Right after that, she got arrested again, and she went back to prison, and that's when him and the sister had their thing, their flirtatiousness or whatever. All
They
right.
really haven't even had a real for real marriage.
Hmm. No, because I think she was like locked up for like 5 months or 6 months, something like that. They had said. I can't remember, but yeah. So quite a few months of their marriage, they weren't even together. All right. So I guess we can move on to Steen and Lisa. All righty. Sean's favorite couple.
All of our favorite couple.
Okay, so Stan returns home, um, and he has flowers for Lisa. Okay, and so he tells Lisa that he was at the park walking, and so Lisa knows what she's been doing on the computer. So she's still feeling some type of way about the fake profile that she made and the messages that she had sent to him. Whereas he doesn't realize it and he's not picking up on it, of course. And
Right.
so Lisa lies to him and says that she's been on the computer looking for jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so Dan actually apologizes to her and says that he wants things between him and her to work, and so Lisa, I don't even know how to describe how she behaves about all of this. So Lisa, she has some sneaky stuff of her own. And so she tells Stan that she is going to go hang out with her friend. And when Stan is asking her questions, she's being very evasive, you know, only is telling him a little bit and still leaving things kind of up to the imagination. Um, which I found interesting because it seemed like Stan was, asking questions to figure out, okay, is this a romantic thing? And so I'm like, has she revealed to Stan that she does tend to like women from time to time or something?
I think
Why?
she did in the beginning.
She did.
I think so, yeah. When they were driving home, she was like, well, the women like it short. And then she said, she said something about women. She did kind of make comments towards like, at least in jail.
Okay. And so she tells him that she's going to spend the afternoon with her friend Renata and that she may not come back that night. And so Stan, he really doesn't say too much except for he said he had something planned for them for the next day. So he really needs to know whether she was going to be out all night or she was going to come back home. All right. So what do we think of Stan and Lisa? And if I forgot something, y'all please go ahead and add that to it. Okay. So who wants to start? Sean, do you want to go first?
Let me go first.
Okay.
Well, Stan had nothing planned. He pulled a Britney on Lisa.
What?
He ain't had that plan. He ain't
Well,
got
I
nothing.
can't believe I'm hearing this coming from your mouth.
I
Yeah,
know.
He had nothing planned.
yeah, because he told me he ain't nothing planned. He ain't
Oh, okay. He
nothing.
told you. Okay.
Yeah, I was looking up in my jacket, all of my jackets, and the jacket spoke to me and said that
Okay.
this man ain't got
He
no
sends
plan.
out messages through the coats.
And if I get a toupee, it's really on. But I'm still working on it. So one with Lisa. Uh, like you said, she knows she wouldn't look for no job.
Mhm.
Uh, she's on there plotting because she catfished. She said she was catfishing him on his
Yeah.
computer,
She would.
on his laptop, in his bedroom, in his house, catfishing him. And then
Yeah.
he comes up and she's like, I I'm a God fearing woman, or my belief in God, or whatever it was. I believe in giving people a second chance. So if you go down there, he tell the truth, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, But I didn't think about it until you had gave the what is it called, monologue, um,
Synopsis.
synopsis. There we go. That she was lying. So I'm like, wow. She go downstairs. She lied to him
To get
about a
looking
job.
for jobs.
But she mad because she said he lied to her. And I was still trying to figure out what lie did he tell, because now it goes back to Shane and
Lacey.
Lacey, when she said that since he didn't ask about John, I'm not going to tell him. So she's not lying that she's not talking to John because he never asked. So goes to this situation. Uh, he didn't lie. He told her that he went to the park, which he did go to the park, and he had to walk from the vehicle to the park bench. So that's
Yeah, because that part,
that's
I was like, you went out there walking.
but
Right.
that's exercise. He had to get to the bench. That's exercise, So and then
Exercise. I'm sorry. Exercise walking from the car to the bench. That was exercise.
He's trying to make the excuse on why like Stan didn't lie about that. Because
no,
I
no,
guess he did walk from the car to the bench,
but
from the
that's
bench to the car.
So
He got
yeah.
steps in according to the watch.
So let me
but
ask you this, John, from that philosophy. Let's say I'm late to work one day. Okay,
go
I'm
ahead.
late. My boss is like, "Hey, you're late to work," and I'm like, "I'm sorry. I was exercising. It took me a little bit longer this morning." Would I be lying?
Well,
Even though
uh,
I just walked from my car to the
Walking,
bench.
no,
that
no,
is still exercise.
yeah,
My watch counts those steps.
right, and exercise is walking is considered.
Walking is exercising.
So
Walking is that's true.
now, if you tell that to your boss, then technically
You're not
you're
lying.
lying because you did exercise. However, you still late, so it don't matter what you say.
Okay, so let's say I go out at night, right? And then
Go
my man says, "Where have you been?" And I was like, "Oh, I was outside exercising." But
Well,
the only walking I did was from the car into the strip club or the nightclub I went to. Would that be hello? No?
technically, still, because you were exercising, it's
Okay. So I get what you're saying. Walking is exercising. So I
right.
guess
It
no
is.
matter how short
Now,
the walk
where
is.
right where
It
you
is.
walking to, that's something different. But what technically walking is exercise. So he exercised, and it's not like the man is your age, because you said you were 21. Yeah. So with you
I,
being
what,
21,
how, what does my age have to do with Stan
if
telling
because he's 65. So from him walking from his vehicle to the parking, from him walking to the
me?
vehicle,
Some
He was
60 something.
75.
75. Oh, well, then
I
that
thought he
makes
was.
walking even better. So from him walking from his vehicle to the park bench, he probably had intended on walking around, but he got tired because he old, and he took a seat to rest. So he did exercise. Now, so he told her he was exercising, and then he told her some other stuff, but he never did tell her that he was chatting with a person online.
Yeah.
So since he didn't say and she didn't ask, then where was the lie?
That wasn't a lie.
Right. So, but she lied and said that she was, and she volunteered that way,
She
that
did.
she was filling out applications. And then she gets mad at him because he asks her, did you get any hits or any hires or something like that? And then she's upset talking about, oh, I just fill out the applications. So if you did fill out the application before, there is a possibility that as soon as you immediately fill out that application, the people will give you a call and set up an interview. So for her to get upset about that question was like totally bogus on her part because she felt like he was trying to bust her in her lie. So she was the one that volunteered that information. Then as they sitting at the table.
But I could see why she might would catch an attitude because it's like, I just applied today. Like, what job do you know is going to call me back the same day?
I did. I got hired same day I applied for a job.
Oh, good on you.
Yeah, that's cool.
There's a possibility. So that's a possibility. And Stan,
he knew what he was doing.
He knew.
In his long 75 years of living, he probably applied for a job and probably got hired at the same spot also. And then that's why he asked that question. Because it's a possibility.
Yeah, but he also don't say he a felon on his stuff.
Mm-hmm. That has nothing to do with it. That have nothing to do with the
that question. Might delay them calling the same day.
I understand all that, but that don't have nothing to do with him asking that question. Because when they was in that vehicle, because when they was in the car driving and the cop pulled him over and he was like, oh, I've never got stopped before. And I don't have to worry about the cops and how she was all scared and panicking. He was never a felon. So he never knew that feeling that someone that has been by the police. So he don't understand that. So that's why he wouldn't ask her, thinking that, well, she's a felon and that's the reason why she wouldn't get a job. That's what I'm getting at. Now, the roses. He gave us some roses and she talking about some cheap roses. Obviously, well, my question to you all, have y'all bought roses for anybody before?
No, but I've received them.
You have?
I haven't necessarily just bought them for a boyfriend, but I have, trying to go to dinner. Yeah. If I'm going to dinner, it's my friend's birthday, I might bring her flowers, or I've had people who left the job and I got, or something like that.
So since you bought roses before, roses are not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So for her to be acting like, oh, he bought some old cheap, he stopped at the graveyard and picked up some cheap roses. I think she never.
No, but you can't get them on discount. The ones that are like closer to dying, they're gonna discount them, and you can't go into a place. No, but you can go into places, and they do have flowers on discount, and those are the ones that are older.
Those roses did not have any black spots on the roses.
Okay, but let me also bring this up to you, Sean. Right. So I was schooled at a young age, right? And this is what was told to me. They said, if a man ever brings you flowers and they're wrapped up at the bottom with like aluminum foil, they took those out of somebody's yard. So when I saw the bottom of those flowers and it looked like it was in a Ziploc bag, it wasn't in the traditional wrapping that flowers come in when you go and buy them. So I understood why she may have made that statement, because you didn't present them as flowers that look like they came from a store. It was a little iffy with that Ziploc bag, with them being in the Ziploc bag. But like I said, that's what I was schooled on.
That didn't come from a store.
Okay, because I don't remember seeing the Ziploc bag. I have to just go back and watch.
But the other thing too, I've never, even with old ones, I've never seen them come where you don't have some leaves in there, some garland, like the little white things, because they can still stick those in old ones. So like I've never seen them come not arranged either. Like, and I mean, even when they put it in the bundle, there's still little stuff in there usually. Or
and then the other thing
you can buy without that in there, and it's cheaper.
But something else I noticed, that wasn't a full dozen. That was like a half a dozen or less. It wasn't even a whole dozen.
Right, it was a half a dozen. Because if a whole dozen runs for $32, so he spent what's that? $16 on a half a dozen of flowers. So
what was he talking about? $2? Because he might have got them. I'm telling you, man, I think he got them. If he did buy them from the store, he got them things discount, and he probably told them, "What can I do? Like, you don't need to put those in. Would I give me another discount?" And they probably like, "Yeah." He was like, "Dude, don't put that in there."
Or maybe he did buy a complete dozen, but he took her 6 out and gave the
Or
rest to somebody else.
or you know how the people sell a single rose on the street? He
Hmm.
bought 6 of them. They put them in a little Ziploc bag that they had them in, and was like, "Yeah, now I can go home. I ain't got to sell no more roses."
Okay, then that's all those.
That's the only way I can see how you got roses with
Right.
no
All,
like extra
all,
leaves or nothing.
all those are possibilities, but it's also possible that he went to the store and bought those roses. So if if you want me to accept all of yours, you have to accept mine.
What store he buying from?
I
Even a
don't know
flea
where
market would do better than that.
I don't know where he stayed, but I'm saying if you want me to accept all of your reasonings, then you have to accept my one.
How about I have a
Okay,
scenario,
I've
right?
received
now
flowers
move
a lot
on.
of times, and it ain't never been like that.
Yeah, she didn't even have that little packet that you pour in there to help keep them fresh. She didn't even have that. And a store is going to give you that. But check this out. What if
The
while
store
Stan
won't put them in a
was
Ziploc bag ever.
yeah. So what if while Stan was on his walk exercising,
He saw
he saw
flowers.
some flowers. He pulled those flowers. He had a Ziploc bag in the car. Maybe he put them in the Ziploc bag.
That's a possibility too.
If that's
Or,
true.
or what if he went to the store and
Wait,
bought a
wait, 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 wait. Before we go past this thing,
again?
before we go past this, can I say
If
this
you
one
want
thing?
me to accept
Wait,
your
wait, wait. Sean.
go ahead on,
I'll
carry
accept
on.
your, I'll accept your story after I say this one thing.
Oh, you ain't gonna say one thing. You got another thing to say after
No,
that.
no, no, no.
Trust
It's
me.
nothing like me circling, being a woman talking. Listen. So if Stan got those from a bush, I want to give Stan a standing ovation because those roses were cut really good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the long stem. Because every time I've ever seen somebody just take flowers from like just from somewhere, like they usually don't come out that good. Now, so I will give him that. If he just took them from, I was thinking more of discount, and he tried to get more discount, and that's why he didn't have nothing but the Ziploc. Try to find the cheapest way. They were like, well, if you just take them in your hands, and he's like, well, I got a Ziploc bag, I'm good. That's my theory on it. But if he cut them from a bush or whatever, then he did a good job because.
Well, you said you were gonna say one thing, and then your one thing you said two.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Hey, I told you you were gonna say more than one thing, and you said
But
I
it was all still part of that same the situation. Good grief.
two different things. It was two different things. Two. It was two different things you said. You only was supposed to say one. So I'm just saying.
We just gonna like tip for tat on here? Oh, okay.
But anyways,
So
so
what store did he go to? Did he go to Dollar Tree?
no, because Dollar Tree don't sell roses.
If they did, they sell them
They
better.
might sell singles.
I never seen any
Because
of them.
I'm more thinking along the line of Reese, where he may have bought singles from somebody and then
I think
checked
on the
them out.
side of the road.
Or maybe he went inside of a store, he saw some roses in a vase and was like, well, let me pull these out and see how much they'll sell these to me for.
That's
I'm like,
possible.
can I get it without the leaves and the garland
That's
all
all
the
possible.
Yeah, and I don't need that pesky packet. No, I don't need that
Yeah,
packet
yeah.
to keep
I don't
my
need that,
stuff.
and I don't want that vase.
It's possible.
What else you got? They were like, we just got a Ziploc bag. He like, I would take it.
Yeah,
The Ziploc bag cost me versus vase. They're like 25 cents or $10. 25 cents.
That
yeah,
is
he's
all.
probably like, how much will you knock off if I don't take that packet? That keep fresh
Uh-huh.
packet.
He
How
probably
much?
did. He probably
I'll get the
did.
bare minimum here, guys.
Yeah, that's what he did. But anyway, she never bought him any roses. And she don't seem like the type to buy flowers, so she don't know how much they cost.
Ooh, she
So,
doesn't seem like the type to buy flowers. Okay.
no, she seemed like the type to receive flowers, but I don't see her as one that would buy them. So uh, and so that was that. She was upset about the cost of that. I didn't think that was cool because the man did however way he got the roses, he brought the roses and he gave it to her. And the only reason why she didn't like them because they looked cheap, and she's upset about he lying to her, even though there was no question for him to answer, because she was expecting him to just come clean about what he was doing. And if he was purposely, if it wasn't her on that the website, the app, if it wasn't her, if it was him personally going in there and actually looking for somebody, I still don't think that anybody would go home and tell their significant other, hey, what I was doing today was I was on the park bench and I got in my car and I looked up this app and I went and found somebody. So this is what I did. Or, so for him, he didn't volunteer information, so he didn't lie about it.
Yeah.
He didn't tell her what he did, all that he did that day. So she was upset about that. Then she's upset now, and now she got even more reason to justify her going out and doing whatever she wants to do now, because she thinks that he's doing stuff. Because before they had came on, it was like a little bitty clip during one of them, the other people's show, session, where she had said that I'm going to get revenge. So she already had the mind that she was going to get revenge, and now she has more justification to get revenge. So what I'm saying is, Stan is doing everything that she did, that we know that she done based off of what we've seen. She talks to other women, he talks to other women. He planned stuff to do with a woman. She been planning to do stuff with a woman. But she is now about to go out and actually do something with a woman. But we don't know what Stan have done with anybody. Now Stan talks to Karen, because I believe that's the ex person.
Tina. Is it Tina?
Tina. Okay, talks with Tina. Still talks with Tina. She talks to all of her exes, and have conversations with them. And my thing is, if they supposed to be exclusive, they only been exclusive for what, 8 months? Because she's been out of prison 8 months. So let's just round it up to a year. Now, my question is, they've been exclusive for a year. I'm gonna give them the whole year they've been exclusive. Now, he's been with Tina, knowing her for 4 years. So if you are in a relationship and you have someone that you're exclusive with, and you only been exclusive with this person for 1 year, but the person, the ex-boyfriend, y'all had a relationship, y'all decided that it wasn't going to work out, and y'all became friends, and y'all just continue to talk to each other. And y'all been talking for over 4 years, and now you with this new person. Will you just stop talking to that friend?
You know what? I'm gonna say, like, when we first start dating, I might not, but once I realize that it's supposed to be something serious and we're supposed to be exclusive, if I know me having conversations with this person is gonna bother them, absolutely, I will cut off my ex.
That's if you know. So you didn't.
If we've talked about it and we have determined that we're exclusive.
Right. So with them,
actually, if I feel in my heart I'm exclusive, I'll stop it.
So you'll stop being friends with your best friend that you don't have became best
If
friends.
I got something that I feel like is good going on and I don't want to mess it up, I'll stop it. Yeah.
But if you don't feel like it's, if you feel like their situation, they all rocky. So you rocky with your lover, with the person you're supposed to be exclusive with, it's rocky. Will you still cut the other person off?
Depends on how rocky we are and what's the reasons for us being rocky. Because me talking to my ex could be contributing to why we are being rocky.
Oh, okay. And you, Reese?
If it's an ex, I guess that changes things.
But
y'all, it's a legit, huh?
Y'all was ex and y'all realized it wasn't working out, but y'all became better as friends.
How long were we dating? Like, how serious was the relationship?
I don't know how long they were.
That's what I mean. Like, so I guess it would depend on how serious. Like, because you could date somebody, go on 2 dates, and be like, this ain't gonna work. But then I realize, like, oh, but we're really good as friends, and then it just becomes this amazing friendship. Then I feel like unless my significant other has a problem with it, then no, I wouldn't cut them off. Now, if the significant other does tend to have a problem with it, then maybe if the two can't be cool, I don't know, if I can't somehow bridge this to make this friendship okay, then yeah, I guess you'd have to cut the friendship off. But what sucks in that is, and it happens a lot with people, when you cut off friends and you get out that relationship, well, you cut them friends off and the friends might not come back. So that's the problem that I have with cutting off friends. So if it's a legit friend. Now, if this is an ex that I was in love with, or an ex that I had such strong feelings with that, like there's that little chance we could get back together or something could happen if we got together, then yeah, no, I wouldn't. I would cut that off because that's not a healthy friendship. You know what I mean? If there's those feelings that if I'm around you, I'm gonna probably be with you or I'm gonna mess with you or do whatever, yeah, then no, it's not a healthy friendship.
Right.
So, with Tina's situation, we don't know which one of the two that is.
Yeah, we
And
don't.
Lisa don't know either. But Lisa is not showing a pattern of someone that is being all faithful to just stand because she got her situation that's going on with her. Whether it's justifiable or not, she still got her situation going on. So for her to be upset that Stan is out there talking to this friend, which she don't know how their relationship is, she just know that Stan said they used to be lovers and now they're friends, and that's all that she know. So for her to be trying to use that as an excuse to go out and play is not right. Now, if Stan believed that him and Lisa, like he came in there with the flowers and said that, hey, I want us to work out, I want us to be us and all this type of stuff, then Stan need to cut all that stuff out and just be committed to Lisa. And then that would help Stan to where Stan be like, well, I ain't hiding anything. Now he's not hiding anything because it's just straight up Lisa. So my thing with the whole thing is that Lisa is just looking for an excuse to go out and do what she wants to do. Because once she get all upset and they sitting at the thing and at the table and she asks for some money to go out, and he's like, I don't have any money. And you saw how defensive or angry she got, and you can see in him that that is not the first time that she treats him that way. So to me, he's in an abusive relationship mentally. So so you don't go back and watch
I
the
don't
tape.
think
Back
that
and watch
is mentally abusive. I do, and I can understand his hesitation with wanting to give her some money. I
Hmm.
completely understand that. Um, so, but I don't know that she's abusing him for money.
I said mentally abuse.
Yeah,
You know,
mentally abusing him to
because
get the.
because if you in with someone and they tell you something and you don't like their answer, or you tell me something I don't like your answer, I do all this here, and I constantly do that. You don't know if I'm going to hit you or not. So then you get the thing that, oh shoot, he might hit me. So she did that to him once and she walked up on him on the camera. Who knows how many times she do it off camera. So when he was sitting at that table and he said, no, I don't have any money, and she got up, he got fear. You can see fear in his eyes because he was scared.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. I didn't see here.
He's
I
scared to
saw
death.
that. I did see the
Now,
hesitation, which, and like I said, I could understand his hesitation on wanting to give her money, but he also, I don't know. I I
now,
didn't know
uh,
that. I can.
yes, to me it came off as that way. Then after that, to me it came off as now is try to take advantage of it because he said, well, let's go upstairs. So I'm thinking that he wants to go upstairs and try to get her to have sex with her, for him to give her money. So and I was like, that's not cool. Just give her the money or don't give her the money. So they go upstairs, he give her $70, and she's not happy with that because she said that's not enough money for me to do all the stuff that I want to do, get outfit and hang out and do all of that type of stuff. But she still takes the money and then she goes and she leaves. So my thing is, if you're not happy in that relationship, stop. You don't need to try to get tick for tat. Dan outplayed you. You feel like he played you. He outplayed you. So now the best thing for you to do is just leave. Don't come back. Don't stay in that situation. And if Stan, all that foolishness that he's putting up with and the foolishness that he's putting out, if he's not happy, then he should tell her, no, this is not going to work. We need to move on because I done found someone else. And then she can reveal to him that I am that someone else. And then she can have the last laugh and be like, hey, you thought you had somebody, but that somebody is me. You've been catfish. I'm done.
Well, that was
Yeah.
a mouthful there.
Yeah. Well, um, just coming with a little bit of tea and something that was pointed out in the video. Shout out to According to Amber because she do be like doing some extra stuff like zooming in on things. And if you ever watch her channel, like she zoomed in on that computer screen and it shows like whatever, whether that's Lisa's real account, her catfish account, whatever the case may be. there's like 3 other little pop-ups. So either she has something that she didn't like minimize, or which why she would be on her account or whatever. I don't know. So, but anyways, whatever account she's on, there's also 3 dudes on the side. So I don't even think Lisa is strictly like females, period. Like, and then also on her Instagram, there was other dudes. So I mean, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't even understand what this whole thing is with that chick. Like, a part of me think they really are just friends. And like, even when she flirted with her, the girl just kind of giggled and laughed, but I think she just brushed it off. Like, I don't even think there's something going. I don't know that I believe there's something going on with her and that chick.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know. It hasn't been enough evidence. Like, yeah, Lisa's made her comments like, oh, I'm gonna go have some fun. I'm gonna go have some fun. But then every time they show like previews or they show something, she's not having fun. She's trying to figure out something against Stan.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and that's interesting that you said the 3 dots because that means chances are she's talking to 3 other dudes who she could have been catfishing too. So maybe there's more than just Stan that she was catfishing, which she's still wrong. I think she's wrong for catfishing all 3.
yeah,
But also Renata came to the house. So the last scene was, she ran outside to go greet Renata. They hugged and got in the car. But did you see Stan was looking out that window at him? Like, who is that? Like, what?
mhm.
You know. So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, so you did bring up an interesting point. I do like, according to Amber, she has some gems. She posts some gems.
She come with them receipts for real. And then like the
Yeah,
fact that she zoomed in and saw that, I'm like, so we know Lisa is like a dog regardless, whether it's men or women. I
yeah,
don't trust Lisa either. The thing is, Stan isn't questioning her on what she's doing, with the exception of she finally said, I'm gonna go hang out with somebody, and he's questioned that. But I really, a piece of me feel like Renata is, that's a, it's something that maybe the camera crew is or not the camera crew, but the directors or whatever are using as a
production. Yeah,
distraction. Yeah, like I honestly, when I saw like the little snippet we saw of Renata, I don't think that's the one that she. If it's gonna be females that she messing with, I don't know. Now next week could be a different story. Just like I said with Ray, like I'm Team Ray right now because I think Britney tripping. But if he over there hanging out with females, then and he knew there was females there, and maybe he even planned to meet one over there, we'll find that out when they show it. But I haven't seen, other than little comments she's made, there's been to me nothing that made it seem like she was gonna sleep with that girl, other than she flirted with her talking about her boobs. And I don't know, like I feel like you can flirt with somebody, but it doesn't mean that you're gonna sleep with them.
yeah.
So
Or there's also times where that conversation, like a conversation, can kind of be taken the wrong way. Because let's say I found out you got new boobs, Gracie, and I'm
mhm.
talking to you on the phone. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to see your new boobs. Does that mean I want to sleep with my sister? Like, no. That
Uh, because we said comments can be taken the wrong way, and if she's just
oh,
and if she's just flirting, if she's just flirting, there's nothing wrong with the flirtation.
I
Right?
even defended and said maybe she's not flirting.
So I'm saying if she is just flirting, there's nothing wrong with flirting.
Oh, there is something wrong with.
She shouldn't be flirting with another. But I mean, we seen a bunch of them doing that mess, and we're like, they shouldn't be flirting with the other girls, and they're with men. Like, that's just because these are females does not make the flirting okay.
Right.
It just
Just
mean
like,
it doesn't mean that they're going and sleeping with them either. Kind of
yeah,
like
that's like,
Shane. Like, Shane's been flirting with men, but he ain't slept with
yeah,
nobody. So in a
exactly.
sense, he's wrong for the flirting. He's wrong for if she didn't know about this page. He's wrong if she didn't know there was men on the page. But he hasn't done anything wrong as far as he has not stepped out of his marriage physically. It's just how much is he investing in the man emotionally. But what we have seen, I don't see an emotional investigation. I mean, an investment. Um, I guess maybe even seeing like that chick doesn't seem like she laughs and stuff, but I'm not getting the vibe of we finna be
She's
together.
trying to,
So
yeah, trying to be with her.
So how we get the vibe that Stan is cheating?
not that he's cheating, but when the chick was like, "Hey, I'm interested," they zoomed in on when she zoomed in on the videos. I mean, on the thing that like they were planning like meet me at 4, we're gonna get a hotel, and Stan was responding back to her, and it wasn't like no, I'm
But
good.
what if it's a possibility that he just was now I might be stretching according to YouTube. If there's a possibility
I'm listening. I'm
that
all
during
ears.
that day he's upset and he's saying upset with Lisa. And this woman reached out to him and he just was entertaining it. And he had no intentions on doing anything.
Then why couldn't he have been honest with Lisa then? If
But,
he had no
but,
intention on anything.
but why do you need to be honest with someone when you don't have any intention on doing anything? Why bring it up? This is just him like, oh, okay.
So then that could also be Shane's defense of he had no intentions on sleeping with these men. So
That's
why should he have told Lacey? Which I think
that's
is wrong. He's married to Lacey. He should have told her.
but that's what you just said, basically, Reese. That Shane ain't doing anything wrong. He's just flirting. And
No, I said he
but
did
if you don't,
wrong, but I said he did not step out on his marriage.
but he
He
didn't
didn't
step out.
physically, he didn't physically do anything. But I
Right.
said we don't know what he's been doing emotionally.
So
But according to
physically,
him, all he's done was did this and that. So physically, he hasn't cheated on her. Physically, we don't know about emotionally. And I'm not saying Stan has cheated because until he goes and meets up with the chick, Stan ain't cheat either. He's entertaining.
yeah.
He's
So
entertaining cheating.
that's all I was saying,
He
Nene.
is entertaining and being inappropriate.
Yeah, he's entertaining it.
That's
So
I feel
all.
like
what doesn't make sense is why bring flowers home if you're going to entertain other women.
right, and I feel like anytime you're doing something that is
Home.
entertaining another woman that you would not do in front of your spouse, that's wrong.
Okay, so long as we know Lisa is wrong too, because we just
Yeah,
say
no, I mean Lisa
We
is
didn't
wrong.
say Lisa is
And
not
like I
wrong.
said,
you say Lisa. No,
you
hold
can,
on,
it
Reese.
ain't.
Hold on, Reese. Hold on, Reese. Hold on, Reese. You said Reese. You said Lisa not wrong, Nene.
I said
I
No,
never said that Lisa was not wrong.
oh, okay. I just want to make sure I heard it clearly.
Like
All
you
right.
were ready to jump down my throat.
That's why I
yeah.
asked Lisa to be to just hold on for a second so I can hear what you say clearly, and that I don't wrongly jump down your throat. Wrong jump down your throat. So I'm sorry, Reese. Go ahead.
Oh no, sorry, Nene.
No, because I
You
didn't
got
wrongly
so
do it.
good.
Because I didn't wrongly do it yet. When I wrongly
You
do
planning on doing it, you might as well go and apologize.
I
it,
felt
no,
like you did it. I felt attacked.
you
I
Yeah,
felt.
felt abused.
Oh,
yeah. I couldn't even keep talking. I'm like, dang, let me shut up.
you felt like a victim.
Cause see, I see his hands keep going up, so maybe he's going. Yeah, he's
Now we
turning his
do.
hands a lot. I'm scared.
Now
Now
you
it feels attacked
now you
because you did
stretching.
that.
No. Now y'all both
You're not
stretching.
allowed to be
Because,
victims here.
because I'm saying what Lisa doing the stand. You go back and watch it. That is wrong. That's wrong.
Okay, don't say nothing else. Let me talk. You feel attacked. Oh, you don't want to say nothing because I said don't say nothing else. All right, roger that. Like you shut me up, I will go ahead and say my little part.
You too. Look at y'all.
Yeah, because I mean, not only
Y'all
did he
are
go after
abusing
you,
each other.
but then he kind of came at me where he like, wait, Reese, wait. And I'm like, oh, wow. I was saying I agree because of what happened with the thing on, like, granted, even though it wasn't broadcasted by the directors or the camera crew, they didn't zoom in and show it. Like it's out there that she did have other people on her chat. It doesn't say what she could just say hi, and they could have just said these could have been random men and just said, "Hey, you're cute" to her, and it may be nothing. But the fact that they're on the side, it just goes to show like either you're using this catfish page too much, which you're wrong for that, because I don't feel like anybody should catfish anybody.
Right.
If you want to be in a relationship or find love, catfishing is not the way. I do not agree with that. Period. Because if somebody falls in love with that other person, then that's not you, and that's not fair. They should fall in love with you as well as your personality, as well as everything. If they don't get the whole package, then that's not fair. It ain't fair to lie to somebody about looks, because I'm like, because then you know what I mean, like that. It's not fair. So, with her, if she's using a catfish page, catfish another man, I think she's 100% wrong. I think she is shady because I don't necessarily think that her messing around on Stan is women. I think it might be men, to be honest with you. Um, I think that we don't really know what's good with her and Renata We don't know. Like, that relationship is being portrayed as one thing, but it ain't necessarily, to me, I don't know. It's like the way they cutting it, I feel like they're making us feel like it's one thing, but I honestly, they're gonna have to prove me wrong in maybe next episode or the one after that, but I don't think there's nothing between them two. Like, I don't think Renata's into her like that. Even if
No,
she's attracted to her.
yeah, I definitely agree with you, Reese. I kind of get the feeling that there's not a romantic thing with Renata.
Mhm.
And especially like I have gone on to like Lisa's Instagram page and I've seen men on there. I don't really see the women on there, but I think production is trying to lead us to believe that she is into girls.
Yeah.
Um, and that maybe she's just not into Stan completely. Which
Yeah.
I mean, it's not right, but I think that's what they're up to. They want us to believe that. But I guess next week or whatever, or in 3 weeks, we're going to see what the truth is. But I'm like you, Reese, with the more and more going on,
Mhm.
I did see that when she walked out of Stan's house, she did have what looked like an overnight bag with her.
Mhm.
So I think she's probably going to end up being with a man. Because do y'all remember when she was at that car lot and she was texting somebody? We don't know if that was a girl or a man.
We don't know. We just assume because she came out making it like she likes women. She might go both ways, and I don't put it
Right?
past her at all because I think she is attracted to women as well. But I don't know if that's her preference for real. Like, on the outside world, maybe in jail because that's all you got. But in the
Yeah.
outside world, I think.
What do they call it? I think they call it.
And, like, to be real with you, I really do think that she does, like, a part of her like Stan, but I think because he's playing her in a sense, even though it's her, he's still playing her because she knows he's entertaining other women because she has proof that he's entertaining other women, and I think she's really jealous about that. And so I think she's even insinuating on the low, I don't know when I'm coming back and I'm going with a woman because he knows that she had interest in women. And I'm sure she saw him peeking out the window. Like, I feel like that to me was a game she was playing with him to make him jealous. And so is she wrong for that? Yeah, she is. Because you don't do that to people that you supposedly be in love with or want to work things out with. So I don't care for her in that sense because I don't like how she's playing with him. But at the same time, Stan is slimy. Like, regardless if you're cheating or not, like, when this chick with that looks the way you want her to look shows up, and you're like, "Oh, send me a sign," and then this shows up, and then you still bringing her flowers, like, "I want to work things out," and then he even said, "I'm not lying to her about anything." Then he said, I've withheld a few things, but nothing that would be serious." And to me, if you think that won't be serious, something wrong with you. So I feel like he's grimy in his own sense. Like, that dude is not a good dude at all, by far. Like, even if Lisa is faithful to him, he's still gonna entertain other women, I believe, because he think he can. He got money. He's in that privileged group of people who think you can grab him by whatever you want to grab him by, and he's good to go.
Oh, you think he's grab them by the kind of guy?
Hmm. The kitty
Okay,
kitty.
Sean, do you have a rebuttal for Reese with that?
Oh, I'm allowed to talk now.
Yeah,
Yes,
you talking.
absolutely.
You sure I'm allowed to talk? 'Cause,
We're allowed
Yes.
to talk.
the only thing I did was say, hold on. If I came all offensive, I'm sorry. I apologize.
You good, you good. I was messing with you.
You wasn't messing. Um, uh,
All right, turn.
let's see.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Let's see. Do I have a rebuttal? Nah, I ain't got nothing. It doesn't really matter.
She brought up something from last week, a little point. I thought you were going to say something about it.
Oh, the sign?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the sign.
No, I didn't. I didn't said I wasn't going to bring up the last week. I told myself not to because the way that went off last week was like, nah, that wasn't cool. But the he brought the roses. Okay, she didn't like it. All right. If she's not, if that's what they're portraying us, allowing us to see, make it seem like she is going after Renata. Because if you look at the preview, now that you brought it up like that, the preview, because they were sitting in, I guess, a restaurant, and she's like, told Renata that what happened, and she's like, "What you gonna do?" And she said, "Well, I'm gonna have fun with it." So I'm thinking that she's just gonna continue on with the catfish that whole weekend. And the bag that she probably have in the bag is actually the clothes that she's gonna wear to go meet Stan.
Ooh. I
Uh,
didn't think about
Oh, now that's an interesting twist right there.
yeah, so it's like
that. Would be hilarious. I hope she does that. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, she probably has clothes and a wig in there. Yeah.
probably, yeah, and
I
some.
hope she does do that.
So, but if that's what you call it, because if you into the person, you're into the person. If you're not, then let it go. Just move on. Because
Yeah.
he just want the man for his money, and he want her for sex, and he's not getting the sex like he wanted, and she's not getting as much money as she wants. So
Mhm.
they might as well just
True.
go it on.
Oh yeah.
Wanted to play him, and he's playing her, and she don't like the fact that she's been played. Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely. Well,
But she should
that's
like. I mean, she. I feel like I'm sorry. She shouldn't really get as mad as she get because she knows she's even if she likes him, there's still a part of her that likes his money. And the man is frugal. She knows that. He's not gonna be spending a whole bunch of money if he can help it. So it's like to me, you're in a pointless relationship unless you just go ahead and accept the fact that he's not gonna be providing you with his money. This is what he wants, and then you just give in. If not, then yeah, move on because whether you like him or not, he's not giving you what you want, and she's making it obvious that what she wants is money. And it's like they're wasting everybody's time.
Mm.
Everybody's.
When he gave her the ring, she was looking for a ring. And I'm like, is that what you really want? Because the last time when he was discussing marriage, he didn't want it. So now it looks like he don't want
very
it.
true.
He want it.
She did say she want one is $5,000 to $10,000, right? Or 10 to 15, something like that.
Something like that.
And knowing how he is, she'd be lucky to get one for $500.
Yeah, five. He ain't gonna buy no ring for $500.
Well, it depends on how much those dividends are paying. You
No,
know.
he's not gonna buy a ring for $500. That's the thing. He said if he can get it for this price, why would he pay that? So that $500 ring, he can get it on sale at wherever. You ain't getting a $500 ring. You best believe that $500 ring might have that $500 price tag, but I guarantee it was marked down.
No, it's not. It's going to be the $5,000 ring at $500.
I don't think so. I think he going for 500 because he was like, look,
You're going to get it for
it's just as
500.
nice to 5,000, and then I bought it for 250. Shoot, winning.
Then he'll put 250,000 on it. He'll just add a zero.
I just don't think he gonna like. If you mess around with Stan, I feel like you'd be lucky if that dude don't bring you one out the little penny machine or the little quarter machine. Like I feel like he'd be like, this is even more winning because look how big the stone is. You know what I'm saying? No character's gonna turn their finger green. He was like, the
Yeah.
stone is pretty big. Do I? Will you marry me? You know what I'm saying? Like Stan, that dude cheap.
Mm-hmm.
You can see his house and know he cheap.
Mm-hmm. The wine that she said that tastes like tea.
Oh yeah, because she was talking
Drinking
about his wine. He likes very cheap wine.
Yeah, it's $7. Let's see what's wrong
Yeah,
with that.
but I feel like there are cheap wines out there that taste good, like Verde. Verde is cheap, but it tastes well. That's what you do. If you're gonna buy something cheap, buy something that tastes well. Don't just be drinking it just because it was $5.
it
Yeah.
tastes well to him. So he bought it since he's buying it. He's buying with him.
Man, because he got used to it. That's because he been drinking it so long. He didn't acquire the taste for it.
And then so he hopes that she'll drink it long enough to where she will acquire the taste because he's not going to buy anything over $7, but over $7.99.
If that's the case, don't even drink the wine. Just buy Coca-Cola. Just buy soft drinks. Why buy wine? You know?
Yeah.
So he can get it in a box for cheap. So
I bet you there's still good box wine too. I'm like, dude, why buy stuff that tastes nasty? Like, if you had to acquire the taste for it, other people probably got to do the same. Unless she walked in and was like, oh, that's my joint. I like that. You know what I'm saying? If not, then she probably not going to like it. So
that's
for
more
your
for
date or just to appease her, buy the $10 bottle.
That's more for him. You have to worry about it.
Should go get some Barefoot. Barefoot got cheap wine that tastes good.
No.
Look at you some little Moscato. Everybody likes that.
I mean,
It's
there
it's
are other alternatives. Yeah. All right. So let's go on to Nicole and Deontay. All right. So Deontay, he gets a text from Nicole asking him, does he want to go on a date with her and Tia? So Deontay agrees. All righty. So
okay.
Tia says in her confessional that she really doesn't want to do this whole poly thing. She doesn't want to do it, but she's willing to do it for Nicole because she loves Nicole and this is what Nicole wants, right? So when he walks up to them at the restaurant, they are feeding each other. For me, that would have just made me feel so uncomfortable. I don't even think I would have sat down for the meeting. You two are sitting here feeding each other. Like I get you're in a relationship, but really, right now, like this? All right, but he says, so the three of them they sit down and they talk. And so Deontay is making mention of them being in a threesome. Tia says that they would never be in a threesome. Right? Nicole says the three of them should hang out. The way she feels the relationship should go is that the three of them should hang out and he should give them money. And that's kind of the same thing that Tia is thinking that, that they hang out with Deontay. He gives Nicole money until she has banked up enough or has taken what she needs to get from him, and that she needs to end it at that point. Um, Tia and Deontay end up getting into it. Okay. Deontay had made some comments, about, he doesn't, about him being with her intimately, which clearly upsets and also, you tell it aggravated Tia. And she makes it very clear that she does not sleep with men. So she would not sleep with him. She got upset. They end up going back and forth, arguing. Nicole starts crying. Um, I was kind of confused unless she was crying just because they're arguing and she doesn't like arguing. Maybe that's where the tears were coming from. I wasn't really for sure. But Deontay, he ends up apologizing to Tia. Um, she felt insulted by what he had said. Um, and then he actually ends up getting up from the table and walking away from both of them at one point. So what did y'all think about Tia and Nicole? Tia and Nicole.
Well, okay. Well, you breathe. Just you going.
Oh no, I'm just like they're a trip.
All right, so
But
Sean, let me pose this question to you. Okay, so it's clear that Deontay had the wrong impression upon what's going on. So do you think he still truly understands that they only want to hang out with him and get money from him? Do you think he understands that?
no, because they didn't explain that to him. So when he first got there, and they was like I said, feeding each other, I must have didn't see that part because I was wondering why he was just standing there, and he was like, "Hello." So I said, "What are you doing?" So I understand that now. Uh, but before I get to all of that, I'm glad he walked away because that means he didn't pay.
Yes,
So,
yes,
so, well, at
yeah, because
least
So give me shots.
they had a table full of food when he arrived, and I'm like, I hope they do not make him pay for all
And
this.
she got them double shots of Hennessy. That ain't cheap.
Well, she did. She
yeah.
got two double shots of Hennessy.
Yeah.
So I hope the next time they show them, they explain that they had to pay for their own stuff and they upset because he stepped out on the bill. That's what I'm hoping. But knowing him, he probably came back around, circled the block, and he paid for it. So
Probably did.
And then eat or drink.
yeah. Now, so when he was talking to them about a threesome, and he was like, "Well, I really wouldn't because you look like a boy," and she looked like she got offended by that and was
She
saying,
did. Uh-huh.
"There's plenty of men that wanted to sleep with me because I do look like a boy." So for her later on to be like, "I'll never because I don't have sex with men," even though she cussing all that type of stuff. I was like, "Okay, which one is it?" Because you telling him not to contradict himself. So which one is it with you? Which he should have said. Well, he should have said, "Well, earlier you said men want to sleep with you because you look like a boy. So did you sleep with men then, or you just don't want to sleep with me?" Type thing. Even though he don't want to sleep with her because we know that he made it clear that he don't want to have sex with her. He just want the code. And then when she was crying, I'm thinking she's crying because she had made the comment that if Tia,
Tia.
Tia was to get up, she would beat the brakes out of Deontay, and she wound up going back to jail. Uh, I was kind of hoping that she would have got up, so I can see Deontay beat the brakes out of her, and then see what Nicole says about that. Even though I don't believe in
Oh no,
men to
she
be
would
fighting.
call the police on him. Yeah, she would call the police on him, and like he's been beating on this woman. Yeah, even
Uh-huh.
though
So
she
if she'd have been a woman
started
then.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she would have. Oh, they would have played that up. Both of them would have been sitting there crying on the ground. Oh yeah.
So even though I'm not an advocate of men beating women, nor am I an advocate of a woman beating on a man and a man just standing there taking it. So,
Right.
so she was only to me was crying because of Tia's feelings and all about Tia. Because the whole time that they're going back and forward, she's on Tia's side. You need to shut
Yeah.
up, blank and all this stuff, claiming that Tia was being just all innocent and all that type of stuff, even though she was cussing at Deontay the whole time that Deontay was cussing back and forward, and then before she went to go get her shots. So and
Yeah, which I didn't understand because you could tell the way Deontay was talking, he had no clue that he's just supposed to be the bank for them.
right.
So why that's why he said what he said to her. I get it. If you had explained to him what it was, I felt like what he said to Tia could have been derived as very disrespectful, but he didn't know that.
Right. Right. And because he didn't know, you can't get upset because you only know what. Oh, hold on. That's my opportunity to say it. And he didn't even know it.
You didn't even know it.
Yeah, there you go. So he didn't even know it. And so now she's mad at him and then going to confession acting like he knew that what it was supposed to be. So
Yeah, and he disrespected her knowing. Like he didn't
right.
know.
No, he didn't.
And so he
And
was just being honest with, hey,
mhm,
I don't think I could, it would be weird for me to have sex with you. I
right.
mean, if he knew that, like I said again, if he knew that and he said that, I would completely be on her side, but he didn't know.
Well, part of me, if he did know it, uh, I think I wouldn't be too upset with him because he mentioned it. Because if he's going there knowing that that's all he's gonna do is pay the bill, and he's talking about a little part of him was happy to see that he was all upset, about the whole situation. Um, I would do that to try to get her so upset to where she don't want the threesome, and then hopefully thinking that by her upset with it, she don't want to play along with the threesome, that Nicole will see that, hey, I'm willing to do whatever it is that you want to do because I want to give you all this, but she's not. So you need to let her go and just be with me. I think he can go play that role if he didn't know why he was there, type thing. But still, if that was me, I wouldn't have been there if I knew that that's all they wanted me for is the money and there was no chance of a threesome or no chance of a one-some or two-some, whatever it's called,
Yeah,
then I wouldn't be there.
yeah.
Especially after looking at the table and seeing all that food on the table, and all of you have the audacity to order me at least a Diet Coke, you know, say something, a glass of water with a lemonade in it or something, but y'all had all this food, feeding one
I'm sorry,
another.
that glass of water with some lemonade. I probably would have been mad.
Something because you want me to pay for it. At least you can be like, hey, we thought about you,
Yeah,
got you this here, you
yeah, we
know.
got some appetizers here instead of your appetizers. You're feeding them to each other.
so
Yeah,
so I'm like his whole thing, going back and forth with him. Um, eh, I don't feel sorry for him because, like I said, when he decided to participate in that foolishness, that all comes with it. Because you
Yeah.
got three different personalities,
yeah.
and you barely can keep up with one. If you're in a relationship with one person, and
And
you
he already knows him and Tia don't get along. They're always battling. Every time they get in the vicinity, there's
right,
a
yep, and then they're gonna always be protective towards Nicole. All of them gonna wants to battle for Nicole's attention. So she's sitting there feeding him, and then he's sitting in the cold. And then if she's like, okay, now it's my turn to feed you, then Tia's gonna be upset thinking that, oh, he's loving her and all that time. Oh, and speaking of love, when he said that she didn't have to say it, but she knew
Yeah, he wrong for that.
that he loved her because the way she was looking, didn't even look at him, right?
No,
Just
she didn't. I mean, it's very obvious she's into Tia, and she is just not into him at all. But I
right,
don't saw that. I don't
right.
think.
I don't know what he saw.
He
Yeah,
did.
and then he's talking about sex with Nicole. Oh yeah, that's gonna happen. I still do not believe she's gonna sleep with you. Like
No,
that's out the
No.
door.
yeah,
Yeah.
because he ain't spent all of that debt that he went into debt with her for her, according to him, and they haven't slept not one time. And he had to get rid of Nicole Jr. because he lost Nicole Jr. So that was his only way of having sex with her. And so he's not even doing Nicole Jr. anymore. So I don't think he
I
have any.
bet he has a new one
Oh, you think he went and got a new Nicole
because he
Jr.?
was too obsessed with the old Nicole Jr.
So
But I
you
don't
think he
know.
Nicole the second, or would that be Nicole the third? You know,
Maybe it's just that
oh,
girl.
that girl.
That girl. That girl.
So if it
Oh
don't,
girl. There you go. This old
Yeah,
girl.
old girl. Yeah,
This old
yeah,
girl.
if it don't work out, he ain't got to bury old girl because it's not.
right.
Nah, and that shoot, I'll never name it again because I'm like, I know that toy wouldn't cheat. This
Uh,
old girl.
the old girl. So he got him another old girl.
Mm-hmm.
So, so yeah, that whole thing with him, yeah, he got up and walked away because he might do something that he might regret later on down the road. Dude shouldn't have been there in the first place, you know. So let her go ahead on and move on with her lover, and you move on and find yourself somebody, because there is somebody out there that we obviously know, one person that was interested in him. And if that's that one person, then there might be someone else out there that'd be interested in him. So he should have he should have picked up on those signs, because how Nicole was all in on Tia the whole time they were sitting there. Those are signs of who your affection is into. Because you going out with someone, and they, like in their situation, it's three of them, all three of them. He's on one corner, and the two of them in one corner, and they all lovey-dovey on one another, all close and stuff. And you off on the side, dude. You're not in that. You're not in that threesome. So you just by yourself, and them doing their thing. So yeah, he shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Yeah. I agree. Like, excuse me, when he walked up, it was awkward. Like the first encounter with this whole throuple or whatever, or what she call it? Not throuple, but
She actually called it a threesome. I thought.
uh, I forget what they were calling it. It wasn't a throuple,
Oh, Polly.
a poly. So this her whole thing with this poly is like, to me, he walks up and they're being lovey dovey. And I don't feel like that's what they necessarily, you should be showing day one, like me being, that's what you do when you're one on one. But when he walked up, they should have just chilled out. But I guess in a sense, like she was feeding her the food, he wasn't there, as she was eating it, feeding it and eating it, then he walks up. So I guess in a way they couldn't help that because he popped up. But it was a first initial, it was awkward.
Yeah,
And
and they
then
didn't know he was coming.
yeah. Yeah. Well, she said because he was late, they didn't know if he was still coming. So I don't know. I don't know how late he was. If they gave him like 1 minute, or if he was like 30 minutes, an hour late, I don't know. But because they did have their food, so he probably was pretty late. But depends on how quick that place gets the food out too.
The day could have been early.
True, it could have been early. Yeah, and he could have just been 2 minutes late, but they were early, so yeah. But if he said he was coming, expect him. Then if you don't show up, you're like, you owe me back for whatever, because you said you were coming and I bought you drinks and food. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I would have did. But I mean, I'm just
You're
saying,
calling
like,
him
you said
there
you were
for.
coming.
If you're calling him there for a business arrangement, I would think it would be bad to ask him to pay for some drinks that you bought for him. If he's coming there to discuss a business arrangement that you want, he's not seeking out this arrangement.
Yeah, but you said you were coming, so I got your drinks for you. So. But they didn't even do that. So, I mean,
No, they weren't
really was
remotely
like,
about
oh,
it.
we thought you weren't coming, so we ain't get you nothing. Sorry, So He had to start
Yeah,
from scratch.
because I mean, you could have at
Shit,
least spent, what, $3 on a Coke at a restaurant. You couldn't have spent $3 on
they
a
didn't
Coke.
even have a
Take
water
like,
sitting there for him. He didn't have a
yeah,
water. I'm like, y'all just let them, because if somebody's coming, sometimes they'll sit a water there, and then if they notice it's getting old, and it's like the person's still coming, just not here yet, they'll swap it out. Because I've seen them do that, but they didn't even have a water for the man. So I don't know, but I feel like Nicole was wrong as always. Well, let me go to a couple things about Nicole that I was like, what? So okay, first of all, she still looks terrible. So I don't know why he's still so
and
interested
that
in her.
confessional, the
Oh
confession,
my gosh.
she looked
Yeah,
like a different person.
she looked like she was dead. Like her neck was alive, but her face was dead. Like it was like white with circles.
Which
Like the saw dude, like the
which
white face with the red circles. Hmm?
at the end when she was with Tia?
Oh my
Hmm.
God, when she was crying and she was like, I cried and she get mad and I cry again and she get mad and I cry. And every
And
time
she
we
was
get
like,
into an
because every
argument,
time, yeah, she was like, because every time she gets mad, she wants
she
to
says
leave.
she gonna leave.
Hmm.
So and I can understand that. Like Tia's wrong for that too. But because that to me seemed like you're using that as a controlling mechanism. Like I'm mad at you, so I'm gonna leave because that's gonna hurt. So now you're saying I'm gonna leave every time I'm mad because that's gonna hurt her.
Yeah,
So to me, that's a controlling mechanism. So Tia's probably super controlling too, which I believe it based off of the conversation that she had.
yeah.
Um, I can't say because she's bringing another person in, Tia's controlling, but based off of just how she sings, she does. I believe Tia's probably a little controlling.
I don't know. 'Cause, I think out of the two of them, Mia is the more, not Mia. Nicole is the more controlling.
I
Be-
think Nicole is manipulative
Manipulator,
because you
yeah.
got to think to get her to agree to this. Oh, she's
Yeah,
manipulative.
manipulator.
all
Yeah.
right, I got the definitions wrong. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, but I'm saying, but that whole I'll leave you, I'll leave you, I'll leave you, that's actually a controlling, that's a characteristic of a controlling person or a narcissist. Like sometimes they'll be like, I'll leave you if you do this, I'll leave you. Because that's not what the person wants to hear. So if they know that affects somebody, then they will do that. Um, as a way to get her to like whatever you mad about. Like it could be you didn't cook this, we got into an argument, I'm gonna leave you, I'm done with you. That's a controlling. It is. Studies show it. Can't tell you what studies, but they show it.
Hold on.
Okay, Doctor.
But but I don't see what Tia does that though. What she
She
ever
said
said.
it. Like she
Well,
said it in the confessional.
yeah, Nicole said it in the confessional said
And
that
Nicole said,
every time she gets mad, she threatens to leave.
right, Nicole said, who is very manipulative. So she probably trying to manipulate us.
Yeah, but Tia would say, I didn't say that. Tia's not a quiet person to sit back and let you lie on her.
Yeah,
But
'cause
see, that's also something that a manipulative person will do. They'll be crying and telling you what you've done to supposedly hurt them, and to try to get you not to do certain things because you feel like they're going to cry and it hurts you.
yeah, and,
So even in that scene, we were watching her manipulate Tia.
yeah, and then that's when Tia was like, "Oh, this is just childish," because she got up and said it was childish. Because I'm thinking that because if you that controlling of an individual, why would you allow them to bring someone else in to the relationship because of money? Because
Oh, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you a real good answer. The
okay,
reason why she's doing it is she's trying to control the narrative and how things go. Like she said, she believes that Nicole still has feelings for Deontay. And you see how even when they were at the table, she was like, "Do you have feelings for him?" And Nicole avoided that, and she was like, "Well,
Yeah.
I've never loved somebody like you." She didn't answer her. But if she feels like she is the one that's allowing Deontay to be in the picture, then Nicole isn't cheating on her, or Nicole is not sneaking out and doing anything if she is allowing it. So she's controlling
okay,
how Nicole and Deontay interact.
okay then. All right. Sorry, Reese.
Yeah.
We can continue on with
No,
your.
no, because do I think Tia does that to her? I do. Because Nicole is so like Nicole knows by saying that on camera and stuff, I think by saying it on camera was a manipulative tactic. But I think deep down it hurts her that Tia keeps doing that. But to do it on camera was a manipulation thing because she could have never put that in a confessional at all, period. Because we haven't seen that. So
Yeah.
to put something that we didn't know on a confessional, it's a way to say like you're doing this and it's hurting me. And now that I put it on camera, maybe you ought to stop because you know what I'm saying? Like now the world knows you do it.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's the control piece of it. But does Tia do that? I believe so because Tia never said, I don't do that. When did I do that? You know, because she could be like, when have I done that to you? You know, when have I said it? Because she knows we've never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that she didn't deny it, I think she is controlling in that sense. And like Nene said, I think she feels that she has a upper hand in this thing because she's like, hey, once I'm done with this, if she doesn't stop, I'll leave.
She did say that. She did say that. Yeah.
She's gonna pick either she stays with him or she stays with me. And she know Nicole wants to be with her.
Right,
Like she knows that.
but she said if she stays with me, that's good, basically. But if she stays with what's his face, Deontay, then I'm going to make sure that they break it up. So she didn't say that I'll leave.
No, she did. She was 2 different times she made comments.
Oh, okay, I
One
missed
time she made a comment and she said, this is only gonna be temporary. She's like, either, you know, like basically once it gets to that limit of where the temporary ends, because we don't know what temporary is, then she said she's gonna make the choice. Either she's gonna stay with him, she's gonna choose Tia and Deontay leaves, or she's gonna choose Deontay and she's like, and I will leave.
No, she didn't say I would leave. She said
She did say that.
I would break them up.
No, she said that again later.
Later. Okay, all right.
There's 2 different times she said it because there was a time where she contradicted herself when she said that.
Oh, okay.
And I caught that too. I was like, so you're not gonna just leave. Like, so the manipulation is working, which is weird because typically a controlling person can't be, you don't manipulate them easy, but them two
They're
they're both
toxic.
trifling. So to me, that's the most dangerous combination you to put together right there. 2 people that are like that, a controller and a manipulator, because eventually somebody gonna get tired and somebody gonna get hurt. Physically, mentally, or it could end up in like, you know what I'm saying, like real life, like death or something. Because to me, that's a dangerous relationship.
Well, with that being said, then I have to look at Deontay in a different light. Because maybe Deontay sees all that which y'all see, because I didn't see that. And so that's
I don't think he sees it because they weren't
Yeah,
doing
he
some of
doesn't
it in
see it
front of
at all.
him.
Yeah, because the only thing he wants to see is him and Nicole together. And even like when she was sitting there at the table defending Tia and cussing at him, he still didn't even see that. They're like, she's not defending me, she's defending her.
yeah, because he thinks that she's scared of Tia.
Yeah, but that's what
Reason
she's
why
allowing him to see. But when you think about it, like everything that we're talking about happened before he got there or in confessionals. So in front of Deontay, Nicole becomes like this little wimpy person who covers her face and was like, I don't even know how to start the conversation. And then Tia starts it, if you notice that.
right. So with that being said, Deontay sees that because remember the last week before last when he was talking about she was this strong
She's in
woman
danger.
to
Yeah.
her, and all that type of stuff. So right then in that point when she sees that she's covering herself up, she seemed all weak in front of her, it goes to feed into his narrative that Tia is controlling Nicole, and Nicole is scared of Tia. So
Yeah, you don't see the manipulating part of Nicole.
yeah, so
The same part that manipulated him.
yeah, but he only sees that Nicole is being threatened by Tia, and that's the reason why he feels that he has to stay there.
Yeah.
Justify him staying there. So
And it could be Nicole. Now, mind you, this could go 2 ways. Nicole could have anxiety because she loves Tia and she's scared like if she does too much, it's gonna push Tia away and she's not trying to lose Tia. We know that. Like that's the one that she wants. However, Tia has a strong personality and Nicole knows that because Tia's probably controlling over her too. So she doesn't know how to even approach this thing. Whereas when she was by herself with Deontay, she had no problems asking him for money, telling him what she was and wasn't gonna do, all this. But in front of Tia, or since she's been with Tia, she's been like actually a different person.
I like she can't speak up for herself. She can't do anything.
Which
whatever.
could be that. Maybe she is in danger. Maybe Tia is crazy. Maybe Nicole is in a controlling relationship and that's why she's so different now. But I don't know. Either way, um, we know her end goal because she said it in her confessional that she wants the
Right.
money from him.
No,
He
well,
doesn't see it because when he sees it, he sees the Nicole that seems scared of Tia, which she did come off like it was like, what do we want to do? And she covers her face. So then Tia's like, we need you to figure out what you want to do, or what we trying to figure out what this is, or whatever the case may be. Get feelings situated, whatever she said. But my only complaint about Deontay is that he's still coming at it from that sexual point of view versus a relationship. Like I think he needs to chill out with that. Like let it get to the point where sex is involved because like you bringing that right to the table is what made everybody mad because that already upset Nicole once when you just brought sex to the table like well we ain't had sex.
well, with that, I don't believe them for bringing that to the table up front because of the fact that the relationship they had in the past, there was no sex. Now you bringing in this third party. Am I still going to be no sex? Let me know up front. Are we going to have sex? So I don't blame him for doing that. But what I'm saying is, to he sees all that we say that we see about Tia and Nicole, and that's to justify.
You don't see it all.
Well, he sees the controlling because at the table, that to him, he probably saw that okay, he's
Yeah.
scared, and because she's scared of him, and he already had going into the thing that he needs to be there because he needs to protect her from Tia. So what that did show at the table, her being like, oh, and all that type of stuff, made him justify his actions for the reason why he needs to be there. Now I agree that he don't need to be there at all. You know, he needs to move on. But I'm just saying, in his eyesight, this is his justification,
Yeah.
and this is why it is that she does. This is how she was able to manipulate him by doing all of that in front of him, so that she knows how he is, and then this is his gonna feed into him being the Captain Saber. So
Yeah, I think at the end we all agree Deontay shouldn't even be there. Like that's a toxic, weird relationship to even put yourself in. The
mhm.
simple
Yeah.
fact that it to me it's like if she's dating another man. Like Tia's made it clear, I'm not gonna sleep with you and never will. Now she was confusing when she said, oh, men wanted me because I look like a man and blah blah blah. And then he's like, okay, well, you know, we'll see what happens. You know, it's like I would never sleep with you, blah blah blah. You know, so to me, if he was to walk away and like that's it, I would actually give him his props as being smart, but I'm sure that's not it. I'm sure it's not. Um, and to me, seeing them two, like nothing was attractive about either one of them. Like Tia just like a little dude, and Nicole looks sick. Like either like she on drugs or you know, like she said she was recovering, but like you look at her from last, even the beginning of the season, like she has lost so much weight. Like she looks sick. Like so. I get his concern, but I would just stay out of that. Being that these were people who were former drug users, and I'll just stay out of it. Like I'd be like, you know what? I love her, but if I don't put myself in it, then I can never be blamed if something happens. Like so, if you stay out of it, let that mess be on Tia. Let it be on whoever else is in her life. But we know he's not like that. He's a good dude, and like he wants to save her. Plus, he wants to sleep with her, obviously. And he probably won't walk away, but I just feel like just based off of what happened with Tia, he should walk away. Like that to me was a bit much.
Yeah. Like,
And when he apologized, like she was wrong for not accepting that because like you gotta understand, y'all not giving him the full story either. So he's coming in with assumptions. He can't be mad at his assumptions. Yeah, when he's saying I'm trying to sleep with y'all, that's wrong, but he apologized. Give him a chance now at this point. If you're not gonna give him a chance, then there's no way for him to even have even any sort of friendship with y'all or nothing where he's gonna be paying for things, which is the purpose of it. If y'all like, you know, if Tia's gonna tear him down every time he come around, so or
right.
try to fight him. Because I'm with Sean, I think Deontay would have tore her up. Like she thinks she a man, but she really is a woman. At the end of the day, that dude works out. He might be skinny, but I don't put nothing past it. That dude ain't strong, so she's skinny. You know what I'm saying? So I don't put none past her. She ain't a fighter and strong, but I don't think she could beat him. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Nicole need to either rein Tia in or they need to let it go. If she can't control Tia, being the manipulator she is, if you
Yeah,
can't
if
keep
she
that girl
can't
under
control
control,
Tina, and then she's not being honest with Deontay about what's going on. Now, I get you're not going to tell him, oh, I just want to receive money from you, but you need to let him know, I am only looking for a friendship. I'm not looking for anything sexual from you.
yeah,
To be honest, he'll probably go with that. You don't have to do all this,
yeah, he
you
just want
know.
to save her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And in the back of his mind, he will always be like, but there is a chance.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
He like once I can get her away from Tia,
uh,
I get
He
to see.
did say that. He said he felt like Tia would fizzle out, and then it's just going to be him and Nicole.
Yeah.
So he's not logically looking at this situation. I think things would fizzle out between her and Deontay before they would fizzle out between her and Tia.
However,
yeah.
Tia did make the comment that hey, eventually she's gonna have to choose. So if it don't fizzle out at the time frame Tia wants, Tia could be the one to lose out, and I think Tia knows that, and that's probably why she made the secondary comment of "Ain't nobody gonna take Nicole from me." Um, basically that it ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, so she
Yeah.
contradicted herself when she said she'll walk, but really she won't. Deontay gonna have to walk before she'll walk.
Yeah. So, and he's not going anywhere. So
You
He'll,
yeah.
know,
I think he'll walk again.
Yeah.
It's just that oh girl got enough control over him that if she wanted him back again later, he probably come back.
Yeah.
yeah,
So he's Dumb and Dumber Part 3. So,
Pretty much, we're in part 2 right now.
uh-huh.
yeah.
If you feel that there's a chance, you know, say there's
You
one.
really want to sleep with her? I'm sorry, like it ain't like she was skinny and got bigger, or she was ugly and got prettier. Like she went from what was his pretty to looking terrible. And I'm sorry, like in part 2, I'd have been like, wait, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna get back to what you were? If not, this ain't what I asked for. You know what I'm
Like I
saying?
would have
Like,
been acting like Lacey at that lie detector place. Like, what? Well, wait a minute. What? I'm not
yeah,
understanding what's going on.
yeah, yeah.
uh, and that's why he said people don't understand. You love who you love. And so he loved her for her fineness and her sickness.
Well, you should love who you love, but at the same time, they should be giving love back to you. Where you're not getting anything but her defending
Yeah. That's
somebody
what
else.
I'm saying. Like, so
Somebody that's
it should be
defending him.
unattractive at some point. Like, not only do you look terrible, but then you defending this little, what he say? I forgot who all he said. All them people,
Oh yeah, he said Justin Bieber and
Justin
somebody else.
Bieber, Malone, what's the name? Malone.
Yeah, yeah, Malone.
Yeah, like all these people that he named. And then you are already said like you look like a dude to me, and Deontay's not into dudes. Like I feel like at some point know your worth and realize like, look, it's other women out there that would probably give him a chance. This chick that looked like she half dead now is not the one you want, crying or not. Because even in her tears, she still was coming at Deontay. And I would feel some kind of way. I'd be like, okay, if I'm making you cry, you coming at me like this, like, but what about everything Tia just did? Because Tia was coming at him strong too.
She
Right.
did.
Yeah.
Like she didn't stay neutral. And that's the thing. Like you gotta stay neutral. Like I'm trying to be with y'all both. Y'all both are crazy right now. Stop it. You both are wrong. No, she like that. If you want to be with me, you'll stop this, and you're being too much. You know. So it's like she chose a side, and that right there is enough right there to show that she chose a side.
Yeah.
She didn't stay neutral in this polymorous relationship. But she should have condemned. She should have condemned them both, in my opinion. They both was out of control.
Yeah, they were both so, but that goes to show you should be with a partner who, if you're put face to face with somebody else, they should be defending you. They should be on your side too. Like,
Now, if
because
you absolutely wrong by yourself, okay.
right,
Because I'm not gonna defend wrong. Like I'd be like, look,
right,
you need
exactly.
to
I know, like
let's
me and my
leave.
late husband, we always had a thing where in public I'm going to defend you. Now, once we get in the car, and I know there has been times where I remember one day I acted up and he defended me. We got in the car and he was like, "Was that really necessary? You know you was wrong, right?" Because couldn't say anything, but I was like, I know I was wrong. Thank you for defending me though, and not allowing somebody to come at me, even though I
Mhm.
was wrong. And I was able to say that, which I don't think I would have been able to say that if he had came at me a different way. But
But
that's
see,
how.
I think if you equally loved both, you would have to like just like stop it and then tell them both they're wrong.
Yeah,
Because you're in a, it's not like, yeah, the camera sees, the world sees, but like in reality, this is y'all dinner with just you three. There's not a crowd of people right there present at the moment. So at this time, this is your chance to say, I want to be with you both. I like you both. You know what I'm saying? I want this to work between us. So you both gotta calm down. You both, we can't, this won't work if y'all are always at each other's throats. But
Uh-huh.
she went
yeah,
after Beyonce. So to
yeah,
me, I wish he would just walk away and leave.
yeah. And then I
And when
also,
the kid come up, let it just show Nicole and Tia.
yeah,
Not
and then I
him.
also wish that she would have also taken accountability that she never explained to him what it was going to be. So of course
Yeah,
he
but she
never
couldn't
explained
explain
what
that
the
because she want the money. He don't give money if you say, I'm just here for the money.
no, but I'm saying because
The sex.
when she approached him, she was saying you want to do a three-way.
True.
So the natural assumption is going to be that that y'all both want to be with me. Hey, Muhammad.
Hey, Mohammed.
All right, so that's going to be his natural assumption, and he wants to be with you sexually. So he's assuming that you now want to be with him sexually, and not only do you want to be with him sexually, you're going to bring your girlfriend in on it.
Yeah. Don't make it seem
So
like it's
I get
a
her
thing.
not necessarily telling him about the money part, but you could have explained to him that look, Tia's not into men, so
Yeah.
she's not going to want to be involved. You're not going to be kissing on her or
Yeah.
having
Yeah,
a
there's
sexual
never a
relationship.
point where you two are together. It's me and her, me and you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So she should
but
have
you
said,
left that up to his imagination.
yeah, she should have said an open relationship instead of a threesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
It's
would have been a
probably,
better.
well, I
Yeah,
guess maybe we don't understand polymorphs. We have to see what that is first. Maybe we like Deontay thinking polymorphs is a three-way.
Uh, mm-hmm.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
look that up. So next week I'll let y'all know.
know. Okay, yeah, I'm open to be schooled by it.
Cause I'm thinking that might be part of the problem too. But I
Yeah.
still would feel like my assumption would be, and then once you realize that's what I think, clear it up. Don't say, oh, so you wouldn't want to be in a three-way just because you look like a man. Because by you saying that, that makes me, that to me confirms what I thought.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
So,
because obviously she don't know what it means either.
no, I don't
Since
think so.
she brought it up and talk about three-way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe she does know what it means, and that's what she was hoping to rope him in, and then maybe once he's in it, then
Mm-hmm.
explain to him, well, you can't touch her.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't touch me, in other words.
No,
Yeah.
can't touch Tia.
Oh, I thought you saying touch Tia or touch
Yeah.
Nicole.
He can't touch Tia.
Well,
Tia
you know,
can't touch him.
In essence, I don't think he's gonna be able to touch Nicole either.
yeah,
So
that's what I was
it's gonna be a
gonna
no touch
say.
situation.
Nah, she wasn't gonna let him touch her, like, period. Even if she does like him, I don't think she likes him like sexually.
No, she likes the money.
She likes
Yeah.
the money, and I think she likes like his company.
Yeah,
And I
because
think she likes that he treats her like a princess or whatever.
Yeah,
I think she likes those aspects of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
because that's part of why I think she was crying so hard. I don't think it was necessarily because she was upset that Tia was upset. Because Tia was like, "If I ain't go crazy, I ain't go off. Why you upset?" But she was crying because Deontay left, and it's like, dude, I got him here, and you messed it up. Like, I think that's
Mhm.
why she was
yeah,
crying.
oh, she was crying because she knew they had to wash dishes and dry.
Yeah,
Is that
Yeah.
like I got the money here, and here you go, finna fight him, and now we got to pay. Like I had him here, and I just
Yeah.
ordered these 2 double shots of Hennessy. So you ordering top shelf, and he walks away. Like
yeah.
Right. She's like,
I
I
was
was trying
trying
to
to,
look.
I was trying
She's
to.
like,
I'd be like, dude, if I knew
yeah,
you was
I
gonna
was
leave, I'd have ordered Jim Beam.
yeah, look, I was trying to secure our bag and you just let the bag run away. Like what? We
Mm-hmm.
had the bag.
Yeah, because then too, what Tia Nicole needs to find herself another. If she wants to be with a woman, find herself another woman. Because anytime, like we said before, Tia is not the person for her. Because if she's gonna go along with her being with another man or another person, so that that person can take care of them because she don't want to work and she don't want her to work, then she need to find somebody else. Nicole needs to go ahead on and get with someone that's if get with someone that's willing to work and take care of both household, well, their household, or find someone that don't mind her going out and get a job, because
Sure.
eventually she's going to get older, and with Tia, she's never going to get her boobs job, so she can't depend on big boobs to
True.
get the right guy. So
Yeah, that might be the other thing. She saw her boob job walking out the door, and she was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
we don't know what bills she got due right now, and
"Yeah,
still pay her
like
just
you gonna
well.
finally turn this up on her."
Yeah,
yeah. Well, I wish he already turned it off. He
Oh,
should.
did he?
No, I'm saying he should have been turned that thing off.
yeah, he should
Yeah.
have, but he
It
probably
wasn't
didn't
him.
put it
She probably
on.
still got it.
Yeah, he
He
probably
was like,
didn't
if I
put it
turn it
on.
off, she'll get a new number, and I'll never get in touch with her.
Yeah, and I'll never talk to her again if I don't continue to pay for this cell phone.
Yeah.
So he
So I
probably,
think that's a also a mechanism. I don't know what level or where you categorize it, but he's holding on to something by doing that too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, because it
either
looked.
way, that was a hot mess. Her makeup in the confessional was a hot mess. It looked like the Saw dude on the bicycle because it was all white, the rosy cheek circles. And I feel like there's a circle up there, but I could be making that up. I don't know, but I know for sure there was two circles here, possibly one here, with two circles here and a white face. And I feel like white people should be offended that she put on white face and she white. And then
Ghost should be offended.
ghosts should be offended because they be like, "What are you trying to say? You saying we got rosy cheeks like Casper?" No. So I don't know what the problem was with that. Like, because I feel like you're dealing with professional lighting, so that was all you. That was all on you. Um, Yeah, that was a mess. And when I saw that, I couldn't even have sympathy for her at all because I couldn't get past what she looked like. And I'm like, dude, not only do you look like you dying, but then your makeup look like a clown. So now you're like a dead clown. And I was like, oh my God, why wouldn't he walk away? He got to see this in person. Because in person, she didn't have all the makeup on, but she just looked like she was dying. And I'm like, if she's got medical that's outside of the COVID, great. I feel bad for her. But if it's just the COVID, like, I don't know. She looks terrible. She looks terrible. I don't think if I like, you know what I'm saying? That's like if I was dating a man and he was like built and then I come back and he's like shriveled up. Unless you tell me you had cancer, I can't go along with that because if I knew you was on drugs prior to, I would start feeling like that's got to be drug related. Because
But you know
PCA
what?
is drug related.
If he's thinking it's drug related, that might attract him more because his ex was on drugs.
He
He
want to
wanted
save
that.
her. He
Yeah.
got to stop being captain. Like, man, you ain't got no licenses to drive these boats. Stop it. You're not captain. You gotta stop. That's all. But I'm
Yeah,
done with it because like I could keep going about how she looked, and I was like, because I do not like her. I'm not gonna lie, because she's a manipulator on both sides, as well as even when she is being the victim, you can't feel sorry for her. And even if she has feelings for both, the way you doing them both, the way she's doing Tia is wrong, the way she's doing Deontay is wrong. I can't have sympathy, and I think she looks terrible, and I think she on drugs because of everybody that I have seen that had COVID, even the ones that lost weight, they did not look like that.
mm.
And they never put out like that she was hospitalized, nothing like that. And nobody still has come out like that. Like she looked like a crackhead. I'm sorry, she does. So I think she back on drugs.
Which I mean, that is a very big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then especially with some of the things behind the scenes now that I've seen that has been going on with them, like with the money scamming and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Um, she's desperate
Women
for money.
spread. Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
guess me, Deontay's been fed up with her, saying that she's not scheming him, so she's going after other people.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking like now that he's seen the show like in present time, he's probably like, so hopefully if there was a chance of them ever hooking up present time, now that he's seen her say, hey, I just want you to spend money on, spend money.
Yeah.
Hopefully that he's seen this episode, that's another motivation to walk away from that girl.
Yeah. Now I did see him. He appeared on Sherelle's Worlds.
Mhm.
Um, YouTube channel, and it seems like, at least when they tapped that episode, that he was sped up. So hopefully he's gonna leave it alone. I think next week, or maybe in a couple of weeks, we're gonna see Tia and Nicole get engaged.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they get married, so he don't have no choice but to leave it alone at that point.
Unless they're gonna allow that in their marriage. Some people have open marriages.
That's crazy. Y'all ain't, you barely was allowing it in the in the dating relationship.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, if they do it in the marriage, are they gonna let him in the marriage and he be married with them? So all three
I
of them.
think he'd be a side piece.
Okay, a side piece to the. So he need to ask these questions. So he need to ask him. I'm gonna be
Right.
It's a lot of questions he ain't asked. He sat down tomorrow. So what's up? I just sat down like, all right. So you said this what you want? Do I get to sleep with you both? Do I sleep with just you? Are you gonna come along? Are you watching? Are you doing? Is somebody filming?
Right. And then who gets Monday? Who gets Tuesday? And what days do I have for myself?
What days of the week? Because he was like, well, you know, if you wanna, if I'm always available, you know, you just hit me up. No. You get clarity. Do I get Monday, Tuesdays, or you get Monday, Tuesdays? Like, so that means I get Wednesday, Thursdays. And do we split the weekend? Or do we rotate the weekends? Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week, she's with you. Friday, Saturday, you know what I'm saying? There has to be clear guidance because he got to be, call them sister wives. Find out how they do it. They do it in a way that they live in a marriage with all these wives, but yet they're making babies. So he's spending time with everybody. Find out how they do it. Do you get Monday, Wednesday, Thursday? Like, what is the deal? Does the main person get the extra day that the other one don't get? You need to know.
And in that way, they can have a spinoff. See, Bravo need to talk to him, and they can have a spinoff instead of calling it sister wives, to be sister brother husband, sister brother wife, or
the sisters. I don't know.
Sisters with a side piece.
Yeah, something, you know.
something. But I'm like, but for you to sit here and still give them the power to make the decisions, like, no, now is when you come in with direct questions. Everything you wanted answered, you sit down, they say, we trying to, so you can get clarity. Clarity? Okay. So, blah, blah, blah. A, B, C. That was his chance, but he didn't know what to ask when he sat down. But he knew there was things that he needed to know, but he didn't ask nothing when he sat down. It just got into it with Tia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, they should have just, once he said what's up, they should have just explained. Nicole, because I'm thinking now that could be another reason why she was crying, because to avoid the question. You know.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like she just hid her face. She didn't cry till after he left. Or no, she started crying when they started arguing.
Yeah.
But she put her face in her hands, and it's like, okay, you're the reason we here. You can't be like, no, I don't know. Like, you're not allowed to be that person. You're the one who wanted this. You initiated it, so you have to talk. Tia should have never had to say anything. Nicole should have explained everything. And Tia and Deontay said, I don't agree with it. I do agree with it, but we're going to go along with it, whatever the case may be. Tia did say she don't agree with it, like right there in front of him. So that right there goes to show this is going to be complicated.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was like the crazy. Like, I feel like we all have some common sense, but I don't know where the common sense was lost there. I don't know. I don't think his mom brought him up to be that crazy, but nobody brings their kids up to be that crazy. You do love who you love, but he's abusing himself with this one. Like,
you do love who you love, but you can walk away.
Yeah, and you can walk away from love.
Yeah. So he just need to do walk away, because like you say, there's somebody out there that knows his worth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's somebody out there that won't force him to split their time. You know, whereas he has to share. Like, nobody
he ain't got to fight with the other person.
Unless that's what they want. You know.
I mean, because when would it be okay? Like, other than them meeting separately and that's it. Like, you can't come together and hang out when two people have a aggression toward each other.
All right. So in essence, all this is that Tia is agreeing to allow Deontay to cheat with you, but it's not really cheating if she's. Well, I'm not going to say that you have to have sex to cheat, but it's clear.
She's gonna let her girl go on dates with him and hang out solo.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to clarify that one. So if you don't have sex with the person, you're not cheating.
No, that's what I was saying. I'm not going to say that you have to have sex in order to cheat because you can cheat without actually having sex.
Explain.
Okay, let's say I get into a relationship with a man, or I start building a relationship with a man,
Uh-huh.
and it could be maybe it's long distance or on the internet or over the phone, and I'm making plans and plotting to potentially have sex with them, or you've heard of people having an emotional affair. I feel like that's just as bad as actually having a physical affair because you could have a physical affair and no emotions are involved, and then at the same time you could also have an emotional affair where there's all kinds of feelings there.
That is true. It goes into the like sometimes when people have a cheating spouse or cheating significant other that cheats with a bunch of people,
Uh-huh.
has a long term relationship with one. It's like so when he's cheating, he or she is cheating with a bunch of people, you can kind of distance that and say like he's just a cheater.
Or he's a sex
Doesn't make
addict.
it right. It doesn't make it right. But I'm saying, but
But
you can distance the feelings of he didn't care about these girls. He's playing everybody. But
well,
then if you're in a relationship and he's also in a side relationship and it's a long term relationship, then who do you actually love? Because you know what I mean? You now it's not about playing people as so much as you like you got feelings, but yeah, you telling me you love me, but you don't love these other people. But when you're in a one on one with somebody else and they're like, well, he loved me, and I'm like, he loved me, you know, or she loves me, she loved me, you know, it's I don't know, like it can be just as bad.
Yeah.
uh, I'm not convinced. Uh,
Maybe that's a female point of view, and males don't see that. But from a female point of view, um,
so
cheating
so
with a bunch of women or having a serious relationship on the side with one,
so
I don't know what's more hurtful.
on. Gosh.
Let's hear what you're thinking, Sean. What are you thinking there?
I done lost it now.
Uh,
Bum. All right, never mind. I'm good. I'm sorry. I forgot.
you good, you good.
Chris.
Yeah. So do you kind of understand where we're coming from with the whole emotional cheating versus physically cheating?
No, I don't. No,
No.
I don't. Uh, okay, there we go. So would that hold up in the court of law, though? You trying to get a divorce. You married to your husband, and your husband is talking to someone, going out with someone, but they never had sex. You expect that he is cheating,
Yeah,
so you
still
want to
cheating.
divorce on him cheating, but there was no sexual.
I
There's
think
no
it could.
adultery, but
You
they're
could,
still cheating.
yeah. If you could prove that that person was on the phone or on the internet or in emails saying things that would could cause harm to your marriage, I believe it could. You know, because just imagine. Let's say you're married, Sean, right? Let's say your wife, you find emails between your wife and some guy. Let's say he works at a different branch in another state for her company, and they are talking sexual. Maybe they are having email sex. I don't know if that's such a thing. Let's say you find out they're sexting each other. Every day you see she's talking to him, and maybe at the end of every conversation, it's like, I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. That wouldn't make you feel like she cheated?
Yes, I'll be upset with her,
Hmm.
but uh,
It's considered emotional cheating, emotionally cheating.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
think.
not a physical cheating.
Well, maybe. All right. I have to think about it.
Okay. That's
Think
fair.
about that. So, because I've been in relationships where people actually cheated. That had
Yeah, but
so,
there's also another type.
but physical. I mean, emotional cheating. I haven't been involved in that. So, because I feel
And
like
the thing is, you
comes
got to be the person that dig to find out sometimes. If you're not a
Yeah.
person that digs, you would never know. Like it could have happened and you didn't know it.
because it also could be that they just was talking. and nothing
No, but
happened.
if they're saying like you found text where they're like, "I love you, I want to be with you."
But nothing came about it though.
Yeah, but there's an emotional connection between them. Like they
Yeah,
become like the best friends that you should have been with your wife.
yeah, and the intent is there because maybe you even find where she's saying, I want to leave this marriage. He's not making me happy anymore.
Mhm.
The
So,
People
intent.
that got killed behind those type of relationships.
mm, uh,
Like men, women have like manipulated men to kill
mhm.
their spouses behind relationships where there was no sexual contact. But these men, the women promised, as soon as he's out the way, we'll be together. And the men went and killed the husbands over that type of stuff. That's why, like, that junk is real.
And then
It's
the
just
man, because I've seen it where the man went to jail and then they had to prove that the woman actually meant what she said when she was saying that I was in love with you and all that type of stuff. Because she
those are loopholes.
could have said that I meant that at the time, but then I thought about it. That's not what I want, and I was working out my
Yeah,
own.
but that's a loophole. You know that. Anybody's gonna say that.
Right. So then she gets away with the loophole, but the other man is in jail.
Yeah,
And
because he actually did the murder.
Yeah,
right,
and the other man is dead.
Yeah,
yeah, because
So
of
literally, that man got killed.
crime of passion.
Crime of passion.
no, okay.
That's what any of those that deal with like love and murder, suicides, murder, whatever, crime of passion. Look, we done went way left field because oh boy and no girl ain't killed each other yet, and we pray that they don't. Like, let them two be
I don't
married
want
like they
anybody
supposed
to
to
die.
be, and he move on. We hope Deontay finds happiness because Deontay's a great guy, and Deontay deserves something more than Saul. I don't know what that thing on the bicycle's called, so I just go call it Saul. That's what I saw.
I think
That's
he's
what I saw at
Jigsaw,
the
right?
end of the day. I like, why would they end it on that note? That
Hey,
was
Reese,
terrible.
isn't his name Jigsaw? I think that's
Jigsaw,
it.
but Jigsaw ain't that the guy or is that the thing on the bike?
I'm not for sure, but I know one of them is Jigsaw.
Yeah. Well,
But
if Jigsaw's a little thing on the bike, then hey, you deserve better than Jigsaw because what I saw right there was terrible. And then to be real with you, I've seen her on the recent like live, and she don't look that much better. Like she may have gained a little weight, but she don't look that much better. Like she still look like she could potentially be on drugs. So hopefully, well, I know he's moved on or he's let it go, but it's just I just wish he could see it, like see it from a different perspective. But love does that to you.
yeah, it
Love,
makes you
love is
blind.
blind.
Absolutely.
So
You ever been blinded by love, Sean? Then afterwards, you were able to see the light.
You talking about looks or
no,
It could
behavior?
be either. It could be
well, yeah,
looks
I guess it's
or
everybody.
yeah, maybe it was an emotional thing.
Hmm.
You know, I could say I was blinded by love in a bad, abusive ish type relationship. But love is why I stayed. We just stupid, but it's why I stayed.
Hmm.
Yeah, I absolutely have been blinded by love.
Mhm. Somebody can do you so wrong, and it's like, oh, love.
Oh, in that case, then yeah. Because we talking
Yeah,
about
you
everybody that
stayed. You didn't want to deal with the heartbreak. You stayed. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. In that case, yeah. But as
yeah.
far as looks goes,
yeah.
no.
No, not just looks. Like,
Because I was gonna say all the women that I've they all looked good, and even afterwards they still looked good. So, oh well, no, there was one. Well, no, that's much later down
Since
the
we
road.
are already completely off topic, how about this? Have you ever fallen for somebody who physically they weren't the prettiest, but somehow you got past that and fell in love and dealt with them?
No, I was shallow.
oh,
None.
I have,
All the women that I
I have.
I
were,
have.
you know, sevens and above in my eyesight.
But
Oh,
you know
okay.
what?
All right.
I have, and then he still ended up being kind of a dog, and I was like, really? Because
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember.
Other people were like, what? You like him? And I'm like, yeah, yeah, I love him. And then it's like, you could do better, and I'm like, no, he is better, and he was better than, you know what I'm saying? as far as the way he treated me at the time. So love was blind because, yeah.
Oh no, I know. It definitely happened. I remember one time straight off the top of my head where he was not my type at all. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give him a chance. You know, maybe this will be something different than what I've had before. And then he
No,
ended up being a dog. Hmm. What'd
Say
you say,
one.
Reese?
Roger.
Roger, yeah. And he was such a dog, and it surprised me because that's the last thought I had in my mind. I'm thinking,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but he ended up being a complete dog. So I was like, I guess no matter what way you go, it happens.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's true.
Mm.
So, that's funny. Reese knew who it was right
Yeah.
away. Because I think you were probably even like, what is she doing?
Yeah. Yeah. That was weird. But like, I mean, hey, you like who you like, you love who you love, but just don't let it
Right.
destroy you. And I feel like he is, because he's turning down quality women, or at least a quality woman, because he don't even want to give her a chance because of his feelings for Nicole. And I feel like at that point, just don't date nobody. If you're not over her, just figure yourself out, be to yourself, don't date. Like, just get out there, have fun. If you meet people, great, but don't like make anybody feel like I'm interested and I'm gonna call you back. You know what I mean? Like, just don't. I feel like don't even date. Like, just figure yourself out. Because at this point, anybody coming in right now would be a rebound.
Yeah.
Wait for a long time. Uh, he's gonna be a rebound with whomever he gets with going forward, because he's gonna always compare them to Nicole, and if not Nicole, to the one that passed. And so I
Yeah.
can see him probably later on down the road being on another episode of Love After Lockup.
But you
Oh,
know what? Somebody had did an interview with him, and he said he would do the show again. So I get the feeling that maybe he's not going to be on the next go round with, you know, with the team, maybe, possibly, or I don't know, maybe he's just trying to speak it into existence to make sure he's on the next. But I don't know. But I just kind of took that from that. If he was like, yeah, I would do it again, like maybe he ain't coming back.
oh, well, yeah. I mean, if they get married and they cut him out, then that does eliminate him. Because now you're not a couple, so you can't be
Yeah.
on the show.
And I feel like if those two end up needing some money down the line, oh, they'll pull him back in and probably try to get on the show again.
Yeah.
But
So if he came back just for that little money they get, then yeah, I would do that. I'd be like, I got you. I understand. But to come back and really think there's something gonna happen, and no, I don't get that.
I don't see why they would need him to come on the show, seeing how Nicole was the ex-con.
That's very
Most of
true.
them were.
But I think they might would want him to help create the drama because otherwise we just be watching them walk around and we see how they're kind
Happy.
of boring by themselves.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Hmm. Yeah.
But I mean, Nicole's ex-con, but so is Tia. So
Yeah.
it's just she come from a rich family, so she don't need a dude to come step in for her.
Well,
She
obviously.
just needs a dude to help take care of her lady.
Okay, that's what the money's for.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because her parents not going to give her any money.
Probably not. Like if in theory I spoil my child or my children, once they get married, the
Hmm.
spouse needs to take over that role.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, you might get some gifts, but
Yeah.
you ain't gonna
Or
get
if y'all
spoiled
go
every
through
day.
something really tough, I may help you out. But
Hmm.
as far as taking care of you on the day to day, no. You better hope I didn't set up a trust fund for you. That's the only way you're gonna get that money.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And there'll be clause if I'm murdered, you ain't getting my money.
Yeah.
If I'm murdered and they find out it's you, you don't get my money.
Mhm. Right.
But yeah, other than like old jigsaw face, I mean, I think I'm done with them.
See, and then Sean, I did not bring up age at all this episode.
But
So little props for that. Hmm?
she didn't bring up her age though. Because
She never.
you only talk about her age is when she says something about her age.
Oh,
Or if
really?
somebody else talk about her age.
Right, right. So you never just bring it up out the bloom. It always has to be kind of reaction to someone else.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'm shocked you didn't try to
But
provoke me today, Sean.
well, no, I don't. I didn't need to. I didn't need to because she had a lot of other stuff going on with her.
She,
Right.
she,
She did.
Uh,
even though she did kind of look like an old lady driving off in that car to go right.
yeah, I saw when she get to the door and she knock on the door and he opens the door for her.
She say,
Yeah. Now it'd be funny, even more
where
funny
the girls?
if it's a party, if it is a party, and it was a surprise welcome back home party for Ray, and all his family members are there, and she wasn't invited.
But
Yeah.
that's what she gets.
Right.
No, it'd be really funny. She walk in saying that, and they like, see, you need to let her go. Who does that?
Uh-huh.
Or one of the girls try to jump on her, like, who you calling a garden tool?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even better, if he say, no, no, you can't come in. Go wait in the car. I'll call you when it's safe to come in.
Yeah.
And when he come out, it was never
That
safe to
would
come
be
in. Just go
funny.
ahead and go
Yeah.
home.
Uh-huh.
3 hours later, yeah, it wasn't safe to come in there. We'll go ahead and go home now.
I'm glad you're here because I need
Like,
to rock.
hey, you ready to go make babies? As soon as they get in the house, after you made her sit in the car.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be funny. So I don't know. That would be interesting. And,
I
you know,
think he's too nice of a guy. He wouldn't do that,
Which
yeah.
right?
have would cheat.
No,
Oh, no, I said he wouldn't cheat. I
it's
said he wouldn't do
traitor
that to her.
at the door.
Yep.
Okay, okay.
I ain't saying he wouldn't cheat because I don't know, but I think he does treat her good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. And especially to have stayed locked up in that house the way he has with her. Oh, he has some patience.
Uh-huh.
He's got some patience.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. I guess we have fully discussed this episode and also
Yeah.
gone down a rabbit hole into something else. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank everybody for watching today. Make sure before you leave, you click that like button and also subscribe to us so you don't miss an episode. We're here every Saturday to discuss life after lockup, and then we're also on Monday evenings where we do recaps of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Alrighty. And so I'll say until next time, friends, we'll see you soon.